I said, I think in Discord, this is not necessarily a traditional D&D session. It's more of a world building and to talk about how you guys start utilizing this keep that you were basically able to take over after the end of chapter 1. Since then, majority of the party has left and gone to chapter 2, the Underspire Labyrinth. So for this, there's several sources that I've been referencing. The main two that I think I'm leaning more towards is Acquisitions Incorporated and the Unearthed Arcana for Bastions, which I try to preface both everyone to kind of read through those before we came in tonight. And if you didn't, that's fine. We'll go over some of the things that I think we need to cover. So before we dive into the mechanics of this fort and how we want to do all this, a couple of things that are still open from the end of last session from Underspire Labyrinth. Honeypot, the goat that Splug bought and wanted to train. So the guy back in Seven Pillared Hall was able to make a saddle for you at no charge. Yeah. However, you haven't trained the goat yet. So we can kind of wave our hand to say over the next month or so, you spend a lot of time trying to train it, or someone here does. But is it your intent to eventually make this thing like some kind of a mount for Splug? Because it won't have very many hit points.
Won't have a lot of hit points, but she'll get down to 1, and then I'll finish her with the sword, at a mercy. No, I just think it'll be fun to have as a mount, and if we have to climb a mountain in difficult terrain, she should give me some serious advantage because she's a goat. And if we're short of milk on the trail for our cereal, we got a goat.
Oh, it's a little boy goat. So you like that kind of milk?
No.
Okay.
We hadn't determined the sexual orientation of the goat.
Well, as soon as you said milk, I made him a boy.
Brian.
What?
I saw that honeypot up there, and I thought that was the outhouse. I completely forgot about the goat.
Well, I that is why I put the goat up there, because it's right next to the honeypot. It is the outhouse.
Nice.
Okay. All right. So we don't have to dive into the mechanics of that. Just want to understand what your intent was moving forward. I don't know if everyone's seen the little avatar that Gary chose for his beloved honeypot, and I'll blow him up a little bit. So that's Gary's new best friend.
Yeah.
Behind the bushes.
He's my buddy.
Along with that same line, the Bone Brothers, were you bringing them back with you, Rob?
Of course.
Or Bryn? Okay. All right, because obviously there's a little bit of traumatic potential impact of bringing undead back into this town that was once besieged by undead. But as long as you're not just parading them around town, that shouldn't be no problem. You can kind of put them to work here at the keep. You have to get everybody used to them. Okay.
They're keep undead. I'm keeping them.
Okay. Next thing, someone asked about Senor or Gru coming back with you guys. I think Don generally knows it because he had access to his character sheet, but there was a particular reason why Senor would probably be reluctant to leave Seven Pillared Hall. Do you remember what that was, Don?
No.
Okay, so I guess technically he would have shared this with you guys when you were leaving. If someone would have, or you guys have tried to bring him back with you or leave him in Seven Pillared Hall. Let's put it that way.
I think we would have offered.
I mean, strongly offer, or just like threw it out there, like
threw it out there, dude. If you want to come with us? We got this other side hustle, and you could join us.
Okay. Oh, I say he'll confide in one of you guys. Let's just pick Grant Larson. Don knows his background, and he would have shared with Don that the reason he's reluctant to leave is because while he was apprenticing with another wizard, not in the Seven Pillared Hall, both he and his wife were apprenticing at the same time, and the wizard accidentally true polymorphed his wife into a plant.
Yeah.
And so he's kind of been keeping her like in his cellar and trying to hopefully one day learn enough to be able to convert her back. So it's kind of like his secret. He keeps hidden from everybody that his wife is actually a plant down the basement. So to wrap this around your brain, this is where I've got the whole Rick Moranis Little Shop of Horrors theme going here.
Oh, I was thinking more Japanese peace lily.
Oh, like feed me Seymour. Feed me Seymour.
Yeah.
So unless one of you guys have a way to potentially offer him a way to transform his wife, he's going to continue to stay there and work towards being the best apprentice to one of the mages of Sarun that he can be. As you guys recall, he was kind of like a little helper for the mages from time to time. He was hoping to use their ability to change his wife back. So does that change? You guys still want to try to get him to come with you, or do you want to leave him there to potentially let the mages do it for him?
Well, I don't think we're going to drag him. Just offer.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I mean, he is a kind of a coward.
Right, but my point is he's not going to leave there unless you guys have another alternative way to transform his wife back into her normal self. His hope is that one day one of the mages, Sarun, will do it for him, or they'll train him enough, he'll learn enough from them so he can do it himself. That's his motivation. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I don't think we're ready for something like that, are we?
You don't think what?
We're ready for that.
Yeah, I don't think anybody has true polymorph. I'm not sure. I think it's a 9th level spell. It's a fairly high spell.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he might want to stick with them.
Okay. All right. So Senor is going to stay back in Seven Pillared Hall. Gru the Hobgoblin, he has no ties to there. He would probably need to give his, I think his armor and something else. Wayne, you with us? You on here? I can't remember. There's two things that Serena gave him as, I guess, compensation for helping her out. I think it was his armor, and I think there's one other thing. Does that ring a bell with you?
It was a shield, wasn't it? I see he has a golden griffin shield and also dragon scale armor.
Okay. And I'm pretty sure it was both those things that she gave him. So, I mean, he'd be willing to go with you guys. He'd just have to give those up to Serena. Unless you guys want to buy those for him.
Oh, I was saying they're just on loan, I guess, is what you're saying.
Correct.
Okay.
Now, each of you guys did get 1,000 gold pieces for
that's right.
from the Mage of Sarun for basically taking care of all the stuff in the Underspire Labyrinth. So if you haven't already added that to your character sheets, you guys got 1,000 gold pieces.
Even if we weren't there?
Yeah, I'm gonna give $1,000 to every $1,000, 1,000 gold pieces to every player that was there. So even if you just played in one session, got 1,000 gold pieces. Because I am a glorious and generous GM.
Woohoo!
All right, so you guys want to say Guru did go with you? You want to leave him back in Seven Pillared Hall as well? It's up to you guys.
I think
is he worth a damn without his armor?
he's a warrior, right? He's a fighter. We just have to get him some new armor.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too hard. We've got a smithy coming, hopefully.
I mean, he's a level 5 hobgoblin warrior, so he's not nothing. You know, if we got him a little bit of gear, he would be pretty good as like a captain of the guard or something of that sort.
Okay.
Okay, so Guru is a yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so next thing I want to talk about is hiring, but I want to stop for a second and what questions do you guys have at this point? I may be covering it sometime in the next half hour, or whatever, but is there anything you guys have questions about what we're doing tonight?
I have a question about, well, you're probably going to cover it, but how soon before the keep starts making money versus us putting just, money pit type of thing?
And that's what we'll have to talk about as far as what I put, our keep notes, I think is where I put it. And we'll cover that. Depends on what you guys put in place here and what kind of task you assign it. We can talk about that first, or we can talk about the hirelings. What do you guys want to do? You guys tell me.
Well, I think we have to balance the books before we can hire, right?
Well, technically, all these guys are working for the city right now until
that's right.
until their money runs out. Then you guys got to make a decision about do you want to hire these other ones as yours, or how do you want to do that?
Do we want to go with the Acquisitions Incorporated?
But and that's a whole different thing as well. I've got something set up for that as well, but we can talk about that.
So is the goal tonight to kind of go through the questions that you had in the keep notes page to kind of work our way through that list of?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm perfectly
I
fine
don't
with
know.
that.
I'm just asking. I've never done this kind of thing before, so I'm totally.
And neither have I. So we're learning as we go here. This is, like I said, this is kind of like world building.
So the one question I had. So the keep is built on basically the ruins of the original keep, right? I mean, if I understand, if I remember that arc. And so, is there stuff underneath the keep that can be scavenged or used, or? And I'm thinking like relics, magic items, treasure.
All that has already been pilfered.
Okay, all right. So that's all.
Yeah, all the magic items have been pilfered. I'm going to rule right now that they went ahead and just kind of caved it in, destroyed the portal, which I think you guys technically did in chapter 1 anyway. Yeah, you destroyed the actual structure of the portal itself. But they wanted nobody to go in here and try to reconstruct anything, so they basically caved it all in and built this on top of it.
Okay, so if we wanted to make money off the keep, what are sort of the options there? Like, is it making charging the town, making the keep like part of the town defenses and charging the town for that, or like are we going to have retainers that raise crops like feudal manor, or what I mean? Like what are sort of the options for that kind of stuff?
Let me try to answer that with there's a handout. I think you guys have all access to it. It says proposed special facilities table.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So this would be like the starting point. You guys need me to show it to you? Did everyone see it?
No, I got it.
We got it.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to show it to player just so I have it on my recording thing. So this is a combination of the table from Acquisitions Incorporated. Technically, it's the UA base with added in stuff from Acquisitions Incorporated. So this basically shows you all the different options you have to build, construct, or whatever in your keep. And then depending on what you put in here, you see on the right-hand side it says order. That's basically a task that you can assign for this thing during downtime while you guys are out adventuring, or if you guys are here for like a month, you can assign these. And these have different benefits. Some of them are making money. So if you want to see that detail, you're going to have to go into the Acquisitions Incorporated handout links that I put in there. But each one of these has a potential to make money in some way. Not all of them, but some of them do.
That makes sense? Yeah. The level part of the chart is the average party level, or what does that refer to?
Right. Technically, I think it's supposed to be like your keep, your guild, your franchise level, and I modified that as well because I think originally I can't remember if it's UA or AC Inc. had like it's 5, and you don't get anything until you get to 9. You don't get nothing until you get to 13. I said screw that, so I opened that up a little bit so you have more options at a lower level. So yeah, that's the minimum level that you guys need to be. Basically, represents the fame and fortune that your franchise, in quotes, has built up to that point. Go ahead.
Sorry, the reference to the specific improvements, is that in the chapter 2 of Acquisitions Incorporated, or where is that located?
Where it says in blue, like also enables team building AC Inc. Those are all going to be AC Inc. things. If it's not in blue, that actually came out of the UA Bastion handout, how those work. Does that make sense?
I think so, yeah. So like as an example, if we just took an example like Smithy, right? The order is craft. The Smithy could produce weapons and armor and stuff that we could then sell, or like how would that
correct.
That one is, yeah.
I have to go back and read it again, but that's how I recall. So that section is going to be in the UA handout again, which should be available to all you guys.
Roger.
I think I put it under DiFlorio Keep, I think. Is that where I put it?
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do have to say too, Brian, you put out a lot of stuff this week. I've been trying to read it, but there was a lot of stuff.
And I get it. And I totally understand that.
Yep.
But I tried to narrow it down a little bit, help streamline it, so it just wasn't 3 different documents that were all referencing.
You missed brothel as an option
Yeah.
because that's a money.
Yeah, and unfortunately, for some reason, Wizards of the Coast didn't want anything to do with brothels in here, so that wasn't even an option, was it?
How strange.
Yeah.
There's a blue section says homebrewed by you.
That technically, it's not really homebrew. It's where I took the UA and I added Acquisitions Incorporated to certain aspects of it. Because there's a lot of stuff in the UA Bastion thing I liked, and there was some stuff in Ack Inks I liked, and it just made sense to kind of put the 2 together instead of making them 2 separate things.
Okay, so like for just sticking with the smithy as an example, so like we could have it craft specific things based on the Bastion rules, which could then be sold. Although they don't really have a lot of details about selling stuff. They mostly talk about how much it costs to make the stuff, I guess.
But there's going to be, if it's standard stuff, sorry, I don't have it in front of me. Where is the
yeah, I'm just
the
scanning.
smithy?
It's page 16 of the Bastion thing. But it
Page
just talks
16?
about like what do you need to invest, to get the stuff made. And then like for example, you can have it even make magic weapons, I guess, if you have.
I'm just reading it. Man, I'm just off the top of my head. I imagine you can sell it for whatever it is in the player's handbook.
Yeah, it looks like it costs you roughly half the normal cost to make it, and then you could sell it, like you said, depending on the DM, I guess you could sell it for the normal amount or whatever market value.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
How big is Kront? I mean, are we going to have a big enough market to sell stuff?
Kront is already a trade town.
Okay.
So, I mean, you probably will be competing with some of the shops there. I mean, I think even you brought up a good idea that if you're going to use your coming over as your cousin or just a friend of the family, Dermoog, if you want to try to recruit him to be your blacksmith, then technically you wouldn't be taking money from him as long as he was getting his fair part of the profits.
Okay, I was talking about Grumley, but
You're talking about who?
Grumley.
Oh, one of the hirelings. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you submit, because don't you have like a cousin or somebody that's a blacksmith in Kront? Like that's what your hook was when you went in there.
Boy, that may
like
be
a cousin or something?
Yeah, I think he went back home. I don't remember.
All right, so who else has questions? Or are you guys all quiet because you're reading?
Mostly reading. But so without putting any more money into it, we already have a stables, I guess. We have
a storehouse.
Storehouse, things that might potentially make money. And that's, I guess we could always convert our study room into an arcane study. Right, okay. But we're pretty much going to have to invest some money to get specific facilities that'll make money over the long term.
Right, but if you look at the map and if you scroll over to the right, I'll do a shift click here for you guys. The second level basically is complete. Let me do a shift click. The second level for you guys is complete. There's nothing in these rooms. So you guys have the options of converting one of these rooms into one of those options, whatever you see fit.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you scroll over to the right again, my plan was as you guys level up, if I do another shift click, you guys will get the third level complete. You go up another level and it goes back to an expansion in the cellar. So way over here, that'll expand at 8. And at level 9, you'll get the next level up. And level 10, you can expand the cellar one more time.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like you got this out of the Property Brothers expansion or module.
Oh, I wish I would have thought of that ahead of time. I could have made 2 little NPCs with those guys.
in one of my in-person campaigns, I have Mike Gnomes, who's their contractor in Waterdeep, who's fixing up their manor.
Mike Gnome?
Mike Gnomes.
Nice.
Maybe he hasn't made it to America yet, but I think Canadians know Mike Holmes.
He has. Yeah, Homes on Homes.
Homes on Homes.
Yep.
Yep.
His company's Gnomes on Homes.
Oh, he's Canadian? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Right now, we can pretty much, the only money-making thing we have is the stable, which we can sell horses from, I guess, right? If we...
Or board them.
Yeah, or that's true.
Training and powers. Right?
Say again?
The training and powers. So that's not a money-making thing.
Which one are you looking at, Don?
Like the training area. Proposed special facilities.
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking at what we have on the
10.
Our keep notes list, what we already have versus the special facility table.
I mean, theoretically, we could offer trainings to we could sell training.
Mm-hmm.
I think another thing, like if we have a storehouse, we could store goods for people and charge for that.
Kind of like a warehouse, like a warehouse function.
Yeah, don't feel like you're backed into a corner with this. This is just, I guess, the starting point. So if you guys can come up with a way to utilize one of these existing buildings in a different way, then let's just talk about it. And I can work with you. No big deal. I'm not saying this is a hard and fast. This is the only thing you guys can do.
Well, also, if we got 1,000 gold each, or you guys got 1,000 gold each, we could just set up a money lending business and just collect interest.
Yeah. I was going to say we could have a bank of Kront right in our keep.
And then kneecap those that don't pay.
Yeah.
Again, I was leaning more towards the lawful good group, but if you guys want to go the mob route, I'm okay with that.
But is there already a bank in Kront, or could we actually found the first bank of Kront in our keep?
I don't think Kront has a bank. That's typically like really large cities that have those, like Telflum or Waterdeep.
What if we apply for special taxation licenses like the Canary Islands, and then we offer a tax haven through our keep?
Yeah. Or we form a bank, get everybody's money, and then embezzle it all.
And just abandon the keep and move somewhere else.
Pyramid scheme.
Have you heard about the Cutco swords? They are great.
Yeah. Amway.
There you go.
So this is like the opposite of a normal session. I have to look at whose cards I'm going to take away as things happen instead of giving you cards.
Yeah, I mean,
we're really focused on how we're making money right now, but I think we got to look at the bigger picture, because I think one of the options was we join the guild and make it part of the guild, and that covers. I think I remember reading something about it would the No Mercy Guild or whatever. It would cover all of the renovations, right, Brian?
That is potential, and I've got a little introduction for that to kind of, if we want to role play, but more details about that if you guys go that route.
So that would be bringing in, as Rob said in the comments, that would be bringing in the other Monster Hunters stuff, right, and kind of merging it with the current campaign here.
Potentially,
right?
yes. I mean, you guys have made a name for yourselves. That I'm not saying that they couldn't have heard of you guys and wanting to defect or whatever from No Mercy Guild to you guys, or maybe No Mercy Guild sends them, up here to kind of investigate further, see what you guys are all about. On a recruiting mission.
Mercy Guild. No. Okay.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
I said maybe we become the Mercy Guild.
You guys can become your own guild if you want. Just if you do that, you got to pay for all these expansions yourself.
Right.
That was the benefit of joining forces with either No Mercy Guild or Acquisitions Incorporated.
Does our overall mission make sense for either of those two guilds? Like that. what we're trying to do in this campaign.
This is completely flavor, guys. I mean, this may or may not. I mean, I will probably eventually try to figure a way to tie this into the overall plot of thing. But I just wanted to give you guys like a headquarters where you guys could do more than just go fight stuff and win loot. Yeah. Some of you guys like this. Some guys may not. But I just want to give you another avenue of a different, I guess, method or way to play the game.
So, what's the downside to tying in with like the No Mercy Guild? Or
10% off the top goes to them.
Yeah, but in exchange for them funding the rest of our renovations.
I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, it probably won't have any impact from a game standpoint. I'm probably still going to figure out a way to give you guys quests. It was just a cool or convenient method for me to give you guys quests through the No Mercy Guild or Acquisitions Incorporated. I mean, I guess the other potential good tie-in for using either one of them is if you go to No Mercy Guild, you can start bringing in those characters from Monster Hunters, No Mercy Guild to play if you want in a one-shot, or swap them out or get more involvement with them. And on the Acquisition Incorporated side, I totally planned on bringing in some of the characters for Acquisition Incorporated for you guys to meet and greet and maybe do things with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many of you guys are even fans of Acquisitions Incorporated.
Yeah. So No Mercy Guild, we would have our old characters, and they could be the ones going out and giving their 10 points.
Potentially,
for doing the work, right?
Potentially, yeah. I'm okay with that.
Right.
I mean, I think as written, this both UA and Acquisition Incorporated assume these hirelings are like low level. We're talking like 1/4, 1/8, 1/2 CR, low level people. And the skilled hirelings are more like 1 with like a max of like a 2 CR. So they're typically low level stuff, but I'm not going to be hung up on that. If you guys want to use some of your No Mercy PCs for some of this, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
Or they could just be members of the guild and they come in here once in a while and they're like the de facto boss for the day.
Yeah. What do you guys think, Rob and Ryan?
I'm not sure. What's the proximity of this keep to the road, and how busy is the road?
I think I said before it's roughly about half an hour from Kront.
Okay.
So it's not too far away, but not like in town.
All right, because I was kind of thinking maybe we might need a blacksmith, but if we're really close to a town, maybe there's better blacksmithing services available in the town. Might be a bit of a waste of space. I don't know.
Well, one of the potential hirelings is a blacksmith.
Yeah,
a dwarven blacksmith. Grum Lee.
Granted, he's not like a high-skilled blacksmith like Dermoog is in Kront, but he has basic skills to do that. Not to say that couldn't improve upon over time.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we have a keep and we have soldiers and people that work in the keep and protect it, and there's tools that are going to need to be repaired, then a blacksmith might be a necessity.
Yeah,
and that brings up a good point. There, you guys do not have soldiers, with the exception of right now. I have 2 of your skilled hirelings that have that kind of a background. So technically, that's the only military force you have right now are your skilled hirelings. Now, if you add the barracks as an expansion, I think that automatically comes with like so many guards. And then one of the function is you can actually recruit during downtime to get more. And there is a random table that I'm supposed to roll every month that you're away to see if the keep comes under attack, and there's a possibility of losing a guard and or a hireling during that attack, depending on how many guards you have there.
Or the keep if we don't have anyone to protect it.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Which, being part of the guild, one of the guilds would give us that protection as well, right?
I think we'd have to still recruit our own troops, though.
The recruits that you get in barracks don't cost you anything if you have that expansion. If you're going to use like some of your PCs, I'm going to probably throw in some kind of a fair wage for them because they're not like low level, guards and stuff. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Plus, I can't imagine you guys, even your PCs, would do this for free.
Correct.
Okay. And there might be a good one in the bunch. Maybe somebody in here that doesn't have to, have a mobster life and they'll donate their time.
Nope, none of mine.
Okay. So what do we have to decide?
Need to decide what your expansions are going to be and what hirelings you want.
Okay. How many expansions do we get?
Well, right now I'm not going by what it says in the book. I'm going by what shows on the map. And you can convert any of these existing rooms I got marked as dining hall and lounge. You can convert those to something else if you want. That's just what they are right now. The second level does not have anything defined. If I do a shift click over here for you guys on my recording screen here, I had question mark. This is the major domo or overseer right now, who is Isabella DiFlorio. She's kind of the one that's leading the crew in this renovation process, continuing to build up the third, fourth layer, the cellars and all that. But you've got these rooms so you can expand into one big room or several small rooms. And that's one thing to point out in the, I think it's a UA. If you look at the UA bastions, each one of these expansions has like a size of a room. It's called, I think it's cramped, roomy, and vast, as I recall. You have to look through that. But basically, the bigger the room, I guess the more options you have in it. But you can always like cut this one room down to 2 if you want, if the expansions will fit in those.
Okay.
And I'm even open to, like Don said before, if you want to make this area down here like a tent area for a smith, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we have plenty of yard space.
I think we already have a smithy, though, right? I thought in the list, at least I don't see. I'm looking for it now on the map.
Grumbly.
Well, he is part of the renovation process right now. He is not a smithy. That's not his sole purpose. Right now, these hirelings are all about renovating this place. So if you want to convert him to be a smithy instead of work on the renovations, then you just have to backfill his position to keep the renovations going. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I was mistaken anyway. I was looking at the list of defined things that are already in the keep, and smithy is not one of them. So yeah, sorry about that.
Okay.
So currently, the things we have are courtyard, outhouse, stables, storehouse. And then within the main building, we have a lounge, study room, a kitchen, and a dining room. And then upstairs is largely undeveloped, I would say.
I mean, based on what I've read so far this week, what my recommendation is kind of pick 2 or 3 different expansions that appeals to all of you guys, and then read into those under the UA section and or Acquisition Incorporated, and see if that will influence whether or not you do want to do it, and if there's a certain hireling that you may or may not want to assign to that. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like if we went with the barracks and say a garden and the smithy, then we assign one of the hirelings to each of those. Right? Like we'd assign someone to maintain the garden. We'd assign, what's his name, Grumley, to do the smithy work or start there, or we hire outside for a better smithy.
Right. And that's correct, except I think there are some that require more than one hireling, depending on the size of it. That's why I said you have to go into each one of those things within the UA handout or the acquisition support of it as well to define that. But first, just what appeals to you guys on everything that's a level 5 and 6? What here appeals to you to have on here? and then go research it, and then let's talk about it.
Well, I like the barracks.
I think the barracks are going to be essential.
All right, so one of you two go look into barracks under UA, and you can also find it in the team building exercise under Acquisitions Incorporated. Who else has something here they're interested in?
I'll go look up the barracks.
I'd go with workshop.
Yeah.
Workshop over smithy.
Oh, I say in addition to, I said pick 2 or 3 things or 4.
Sure.
You guys got to research it, and then let's talk about what makes the most sense for you guys.
Okay.
So Rob, have you already read and understand the whole workshop thing, or do you need to
I read it earlier, but I could read it again.
Okay.
I'll look up the smithy, and then we'll meet back here. And we need another one at least.
Ryan, what character are you using?
Sorry, say again.
What character are you using? Your pally or your wizard?
Oh, the wizard was part of Skills of War. Those PCs aren't in here.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah, no, we play so many. I have a hard time keeping straight myself.
Just my pally.
Okay.
And I don't want to muddy the waters, but I am perfectly fine if you guys want to create a new low-level PC as one of the hirelings to do this, and then you can eventually level him up if you want. I'm perfectly fine with that. I don't want to shoehorn you guys into just using these hirelings.
Well, I'm considering bringing like Neo and Simon over as artificers to hang out in the workshop.
So that would lead me to pressure you guys into joining No Mercy Guild.
Well, and I think that's what we should do. I think that No Mercy is going to help fund this. 10% off the top is not a big deal. And we, as our main primary PCs, can continue on our quests. And then when it's time to go do No Mercy stuff, we can take our No Mercy PCs and go play with them.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, but let's go through the step by step. So let's look at what we want to build first, and then we can figure out if we want No Mercy Guild or whoever to pay for it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I've got a couple introductions set up for that if and when we get to that point when you make your decision. All right, is anybody else that's not researching something want to look into something? So Splug, you're looking at the barracks, right?
Barracks, yeah.
Rob's looking at workshop. Wayne, you're looking at what?
Nothing right now. I think somebody was doing smithy. Was that Don? Don, I think, was doing.
Yeah. Why don't I suggest you look into the stable portion of it? What that does, since we already have that.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we do have that already. But
so look into that on UA and the Acquisition Incorporated. There's a thing about explore territory that I tied to the stables as well.
Okay.
Okay. Don's looking at smithy. Ryan, what are you looking into? Do you have one?
Maybe pub.
Pink pub is too high a level.
Oh yeah, it is. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're limited to stuff. It's level 5 or 6 right now.
All right. Maybe a workshop then.
Well, that's what Rob's looking at right now.
Damn it. Okay. Have we got armory? Anyone looking at armory?
No one's looking at armory. You can look into that one. And that is just going to be in the UA. Nothing in there for the Acquisition Incorporated. And Kev, you're looking up what? Or have you picked one? Kev, you still there? Did we lose Kev?
He might have stepped away. I don't know.
All right, so here's what I'll do. I'll be part of it. I'll look up Storehouse since you guys have that right now. So I'll go look that up, and then we can all discuss once we got to a point where we understand it better.
Hey, Brian, can I ask within Acquisitions Incorporated, where are the special facilities located?
Did I not put in there like chapter? I didn't, did I? If you can you expand that into its own window?
Acquisitions? I think when I click on each thing in the table of contents, it opens a new window for each thing, is what I'm getting at least.
1 sec, I'm looking at it. So this is going to be, I think, under franchise tasks and downtime is where it starts.
All right, let me take a look there.
You may have to jump down to downtime and franchise activities.
Okay.
But it should be somewhere in that area.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I see one for. Yeah.
And I think they're in alphabetical order. Cab, are you back? All right, what I said I was going to look at? Storehouse. Why in the world am I looking it up on Roll20? I got the book open right in front of me. Well, it probably is easier to find stuff in Roll20 is in this book.
Anybody know where the sizes of things are? I know the thing says roomy.
I think you got to scroll back up there at the top. I think it gives you like a breakdown of each one, what it is. I'm wanting to say roomy is the middle one. I think it's 16 squares. I could be wrong
160?
there. No, 16 is what I thought it was.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me now or no?
Yeah, I hear you now. Oh, you're talking all the time. We just didn't hear you.
I think as Bramble, I'd probably be looking at. He'd probably be looking at like a garden.
Okay, you can look it up under UA.
Roomy is 16, cramped is 4, and vast is 36.
Okay, so you found it. Okay.
Is that feet?
Squares.
Squares.
And each square is 10 feet.
Well, depends on which square you look. The square that is on the grid is 5 feet. The squares that you see on the map is 10 feet. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I don't know which one to use.
Well, right now, all I see on the gray areas is the 5-foot squares. See, like out here, if you see these squares where I'm pinging, those are 10-foot squares. Does that make sense?
No, I didn't see where you were pinging. Sorry.
But out here is 10 feet. You
Yeah.
do a shift click, or you with me?
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
So 10 foot here. These little gray squares inside the building are 5-foot squares.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stables are actually pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think that has benefits in both UA and Acquisitions Incorporated as well, Wayne.
Yeah, it has monetary benefits in UA, but the explore territory thing in Acquisitions is pretty cool actually. It's like sort of like a lot of side quest kind of implications.
So a garden would allow us to like have some income, not a lot.
The garden would?
Yeah, depending on what type of garden it is.
Marijuana.
I mean, there is a herb garden, but it makes a potion of healing.
Oh, we need that.
There's also a food garden that can produce mushrooms and vegetables that are sold for 50 gold pieces.
I'm also willing to.
Barracks doesn't earn us money, so.
Is there a separate expansion called Herbalist?
On the garden, it just says that essentially you choose what type of garden you want: decorative, food, herb, or poison garden.
Okay.
Like we have to take into account we're kind of like in the cold north too, right? Where we have very limited growing season. If we're going to make a herb garden,
you're kind of like in the. That's how I'll put this. Like in the, you're not north like in Narfell. You're more of a 4-season temperate climate.
Okay.
Blood would like a poisoner's garden. Just saying.
Well, poison garden allows us to make 2 vials of antitoxin or 1 vial of a basic poison.
Nice. It's a little too specific to one character, though. So I think a food garden or an herb garden that makes us the healing potion would be amazing. Just have a healing potion distillery, bottle it and sell it.
Right.
So for the stables, one nice thing about them is that they allow you to explore the territory around the keep. And there's like a whole system for basically discoveries that you might make if you invest in exploring territory around the keep. Like, for example, you could have major and minor threats identified, which would kind of be like, I guess, things that might even be like a No Mercy Guild kind of mission, to like get rid of them. But you can also find like allies, new customers, expanded benefits that give you stuff, essentially.
I think some of the expanded benefits even help with your monthly fee.
They do, yeah. Some of them I think reduce your monthly fee, or give you other benefits, like for example, like a natural feature, for example, you might discover could lower your monthly costs. Like, for example, if you found like a tall, the example they use is like a tall rock formation that could be like a watchtower, that would give you advanced notice of any enemies, and that would like reduce your fees for, I guess, guards and stuff. I don't know, but yeah, it's kind of cool. And there's like tables that you roll on to figure out like what you find when you do the exploration, which is kind of neat. And then the stables themselves, just from a monetary standpoint, if you can generate a certain amount of mounts, horses, ponies, mules, stuff like that per week, I guess. And then even, it says here even camels, but yeah, I guess it depends on the environment. And then you can sell them at 20% higher than the standard price. So you get like pretty good profit off of selling mounts. And then what might be useful for Honeypot is that if you house an animal in the stable, all wisdom or animal handling checks made with the animal have advantage, because the animal becomes easier to handle, which is kind of neat.
Wow, that just makes sense.
Yeah.
Honeypot deserves a good life.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, stables are actually pretty useful thing.
Yeah. Honeypot just wandered in there on her own. She's a pretty smart goat.
But the The stable we already built, we already have though, right? So we're not making a decision to buy that. It's already part of the keep as it stands.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Cool.
So the barracks only takes up 16 squares. We can have 12 defenders in there. Every time we put out a recruitment order, we get 4 new recruits. When one dies, we have to put out another recruitment order to fill that spot. For an additional 2,000 gold pieces, we expand to 36 squares, but that gives us 25 defenders. It doesn't generate us any income. It just gives us soldiers to defend the keep, which will cut down on losses down the way. So it's whether we think 12 is enough to defend the keep or if we need 25.
Yeah, I guess that would bring up the question of whether or what is the minimum that we need to adequately defend.
Well, Gary, does it say something in there about like what the table is you roll? And I think it's like you get a certain plus for every guard you have, or like every 3 guards equals a plus or something like that?
No, I didn't see anything like that. It doesn't really say a lot. So it talks about the expansion and it talks about the number of defenders, but it doesn't really tell me how many I need.
Yeah, I think there's another section that talks of, and is this UA or Acquisition Corporate you're reading this in?
UA.
Okay, yeah, I think there's another section that where you roll randomly for complications, I think. Let me scroll down.
That.
It was at the top. Well, while I'm looking for that, I can give you guys kind of like the high level, I guess, summary of what Storehouse can do for you. Basically, 1 week worth of time, you can generate $500 worth of stuff, be it magical, food, supplies, equipment, and then you can turn around and sell that for a 10% profit. It goes up to 2,000 gold pieces when you reach level, I scrolled away, level 9. Then it goes up again when you reach a higher level. So the amount gets more and more, where you can basically make 10% in 1 week's worth of time, assuming you have the money to spend to buy this stuff or procure it. So basically at the low level, $500 a week, 10% is $50. So you could make 200 gold pieces in a month. But you have to spend 2,000 every month to make that. You get that 2,000 back, obviously, but you get a profit of 200.
Okay. Well, as far as the smithy, that's going to take two hirelings. The space needed is roomy. I have still yet to figure out where that roomy is defined, but somebody could give me a page number. That
page 4 of the UA.
Okay. So it just consists of a forge and anvil, and then tools, and then what they can do is they can make 20 pieces of ammunition or one simple weapon in 7 days. They could also make a masterwork simple weapon, which would take 14 days and cost 800 gold pieces. Let's see. When they craft the 20 pieces of ammunition of the simple weapon, it costs half the normal price. They can create armor or equipment, and they can make medium or heavy armor, 20 caltrops, chain, crowbar, grappling hooks, hammers, blah blah blah, and that stuff takes 7 days or 21 days for a full suit of armor, and then it costs half the normal cost. So if anybody needs weapons and armor, it would essentially cost us half the price. But then we would, at our level, we'd also want to go have it blessed or made magical, I suspect too. So maybe the smithing is not what we need, because at this point it may be below us.
So I found the attack thing. So on a D20 Bastion event, if they roll a 10, we're attacked. Okay. If we're attacked, we roll 6d6, and every time a 1 comes up, we lose a Bastion defender, dies, and one of our Bastion special facilities, determined randomly, is damaged and forced to shut down.
Ooh.
So one of those facilities has to be shut down, and then we have to, it is repaired at no cost of our own, but we have to use Bastion points that we earn from it running. So
okay.
Yeah, the Bastion points is something we really haven't talked about yet.
Yeah, and we lose it for 1 Bastion turn, and then it's repaired at no cost to you. There it is. So but that next turn, that facility doesn't generate any Bastion points. So
okay.
I was wondering a way to, because that Bastion points thing, when I read that the first time, it seemed very, shouldn't say very, it just seemed a little more complicated than what it needed to be. Now, I'll let you guys read through it if you want. That the Bastion event is on page 20 of the UA document.
yeah.
I even thought about, I haven't finalized this yet, but I thought about somehow tying that into, you get Bastion points for every idle hireling you have. So if you have 4 hirelings that aren't really doing anything for that month, you're basically building up Bastion points, and they could use those towards whatever you can spend Bastion points on. But again, I haven't put a whole lot of research into it, but I think we probably want to probably at least at the beginning use Bastion points as is, but I think we probably need to tweak a little bit to make it not so convoluted. And to be clear on what Gary just said, the Bastion events, you roll D20, and only on a 10 is there an attack.
Yeah, so it's a 1 in 20 chance, right?
Right. The other events are lost hirelings, refugees, friendly visitors, request for aid, honored guest, extraordinary opportunity, criminal hireling, magical discovery. And 1 through 9 is nothing significant happens.
Criminal hireling, their criminal past comes to light, and officials or bounty hunters visit the Bastion with a warrant, and we can keep them if we roll 1d6 and pay 1d6 times 100 gold pieces. Otherwise, he's arrested and taken away.
I forgot about that one. That is good. And that actually might fit into several of the hireling backstories I put out there.
Mm-hmm. Extraordinary opportunity. We can host a festival or fund the research of a powerful spellcaster or appease a domineering noble. Oh, I like that.
Oh, you gain 2d4 Bastion points by doing that.
And friendly visitors, they pay 1d6 times 100 gold pieces to use our facility.
Yeah, those are all
Probably
cool.
Probably pay 4d6 times 100 gold pieces if we had a whorehouse. Just saying.
Now, what I don't remember is how long is a Bastion turn?
So I was reading that.
1 week.
1 week?
Yep.
Okay. So basically you get 4 of them a month. Okay. Anybody else have something they're ready to share with the group on what they're studying?
At workshop is kind of, I mean, I think the level 5 stuff is all relatively low level, but you kind of have to start somewhere. The workshop basically just lets you craft stuff. You can craft stuff, anything for free, once every 7 days for, if it costs less than 10 gold pieces. If it costs more than 10 gold pieces, then you have to pay half of the value of what it would be. But that's it. After spending an entire short rest in your workshop, you gain heroic advantage. I don't know what that is. It's not defined in this. It's not defined in this book, in this set of pages. Must be a D&D term, but I'm not. I'm not familiar with it.
I never heard that before either. I
And
hope that's a one D&D thing.
And you can't gain this benefit again until you finish a long rest. So,
heroic advantage.
Oh. So,
I mean, just off the top of my head, I'd be willing to say, okay, that heroic advantage is basically when you roll a bashing event, you can roll with advantage, or if you get a result you don't like, you can roll again, take the better of the two. How's that?
yeah.
it's defined. Let me bring it up for you.
Oh, did you find it? Is it in the same document?
No, I found it somewhere else.
So, I don't know if anyone
D&D playtest item.
What's it say it is?
Heroic advantage lets you roll advantage on any D20 test, saving throw, skill, attack roll. You can only have one charge of it, and this charge wears off after a long rest if not used. So basically, it gives you can choose one roll to have advantage on. That's what heroic advantage is.
Okay, so I'd be willing to bump that up to either, like I said, you can either use it on your Bastion roll thing, or it'd be another inspiration card for you guys.
Okay.
You guys okay with that? Does that sound better than what it said before? I think it is.
Yeah, I don't know that I would take workshop anyway. I think I read that one really quick. It's pretty short, and then I looked at some of the other facilities as well. Specifically archive. Not archive, arcane study. An arcane study lets you craft things. So you can, for example, craft a hireling to craft a blank book. The work takes 7 days, which is 1 turn, costs you 10 gold, and then you can sell it for 25 gold. So it gives you a 15 gold piece benefit every 7 days, which works out to be 60 gold pieces a month. No, that's not true.
No.
So that gives you 45 gold. No, there's 4 weeks. Yeah. So it gives you 60 gold, a profit of 60 gold pieces per month is basically what it lets you do. It also lets you cast Identify once every 7 days without using any material components or spending a spell slot.
Did anyone else look at Armory?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So that one's pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks like it pairs really well with the barracks.
If we have the smithy, the armory, and the barracks, then it costs half to arm our troops. And then we roll D8s instead of D6s, so it increases the less likelihood to lose a guy. Makes it harder to lose a guy. So instead of D6s, you roll D8s. So the odds go in our favor a little better. And if we issue a trade order, it's 100 gold pieces per defender to stock it. But if we have a smithy, it's 50 gold pieces per defender.
Okay. So there are other benefits to expansions in other areas.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that this is the core decision that we need to decide. So are we providing, and I don't think we can at this level, but are we looking to provide party house, animal house, or are we looking to provide something that's going to make us stronger?
For sure. I agree. I like the stronger idea.
I think the storehouse is the biggest moneymaker. If I remember right,
For
it's
like 4 then, go storehouse, armory, smithy, and barracks.
Because we don't need more space for the storehouse because we have it.
I mean, I know that, Brian, you said there's a stable here already, but technically speaking, a stable is what, a level 13 item?
Right.
No, not on the chart, I don't think.
Oh, sorry, it's a level 9 item on the chart.
Yeah. So we have it, we just can't earn from it or use
No,
it.
I'm not going to do that. It's here. You got
It's
it.
a level 6.
It's not that high. Yeah, it's less.
It says special facilities, stable, level 9. It says it. Maybe
Yeah,
not in
it's
Brian's
level-
document.
it's
I'm
level
reading it
6.
from the actual Bastions thing.
Yeah, I modified those levels to be something more in line, I thought, with what you guys
All right.
were needed.
It's just it's less computer resources for me to open the Bastions document than it is for me to open within game.
Yeah. So Brian's
Same
table,
here.
it's level 6.
Yeah.
Which is why we have it currently, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, it
We
has
have
some nice.
armory, barracks, smithy. We have the stable. We have the storehouse and a garden. We did the garden as well.
And I'm good. Then I think we're good with those 3 if we've already got the other ones.
Yeah.
So armory, armory,
staby, and barracksy.
Armory, barracks, and what was the third thing? Smithy?
Oh, smithy.
Okay.
And then is there anything stopping us from doing a garden as well? Because it's space, right?
Right. Yeah, and I'm okay with if you want to make the smithy outside, like Don originally suggested. You don't have to take up one of those indoor places if you want to be like a typical medieval that's got like a tarp or something outside.
The other
I guess the
question
only
I had, though,
downside of that be I would probably add some kind of extra chance of it being pillaged if and when you get attacked, since it's not inside a secure building. That's the only downside I would put on it.
Yeah.
Or for that matter, anything you put outside would probably be like under that category.
They'll steal our carrots. Sons of bitches.
The other thing I was wondering though is because we can't operate all these at once because we're only going to have how many hirelings?
You can have as many as you want, but I think it caps out at 6 is under the umbrella of the company. That makes sense. 6 hirelings and 2 skilled. If you want anything above that, you have to pay for it.
Yeah. But if we do like the storehouse, that'll pay for themselves.
Yeah, but I think what Kev's saying, you have to have so many manpower, people, to run these things.
Right. That's what I mean. But we can use the money we make from the storehouse to pay for those people.
I mean, the storehouse makes 50 gold pieces because it says you sell 500 gold's worth of whatever and you only keep 10% profit, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
And that's a week, right? So it's 200 a month.
Yeah, 10% of 500, $50 times 4. Yeah, $200, 200 gold.
Okay.
And I can't remember if I put that somewhere. I read it. Standard, just run-of-the-mill hirelings that have no skill. I think it's 2 silver per day, whereas skilled hirelings are 2 gold per day. So a big difference. And I got to read, unless you guys have, is it skilled hirelings you have to have to do an order? Or is it any hireling? This may be where it's a mix between AC and UA stuff.
Not sure.
UA, for at least for stables, it says just hireling. I don't see skilled hireling.
Yeah, I think a skilled hireling is brought on by Acquisitions Incorporated. Yeah, so I got to figure out how to convert Bastion points to something else, because now I'm looking at UA, everything, an order, you got to roll 1d8 Bastion points to see how many it takes. Yeah, there's still going to be some learning curve here for everybody of how to combine these two.
Mm-hmm.
So what does a skilled hireling do for you? I guess I have to look at the Acquisition Incorporated thing to answer that question. Unless someone read that already.
That book.
Yeah, I got the book open in front of me right now. I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, that book was too big for me to dive into this week.
Well, it's only like 200 something pages. Jeez. Okay, staff. The cost of maintaining staff is included in the franchise cost if you choose one of them. I'm going to say it the same, No Mercy Guild or Acquisition Incorporated. Each staff member has proficiency bonus equal to 2 plus the franchise's rank. For skilled hirelings occur, the DM might substitute NPC statistics, blah, blah, blah. Each time a franchise gains a rank, existing staff members can be gifted with early retirement, that is, fired, and replaced alongside new hires that fit the franchise's needs. Okay, that didn't help me any. Untrained hirelings. Hirelings are kindling in the fire of opportunity. Okay, here we go. Untrained hirelings can work for franchises or its allies, perhaps tending a garden for a noble family or helping a merchant unload a cargo from ships. They will not engage in combat and do not leave the headquarters to join the party on adventures. Not that these guys would anyway.
Now, hold on a second. It says under hirelings on page 5.
UA or Acquisition Incorporated?
UA.
Okay.
Each special facility in a bastion is assumed to generate enough income to pay the salary of its hirelings. So I believe they've already incorporated the cost of the hirelings into.
Yeah, that is correct. I thought I said that before. It's only if you want to get extra, is that you got to come up with the way to pay them.
Okay, but I mean, if we have more,
like I said, at rank 2, you get, I forget what it is. I think it's 6 hirelings and 2 skilled. That's part of the monthly franchise fee. Anything above and beyond that, you just got to pay for.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Skilled hireling. This is Acquisition Incorporated. A skilled hireling has 1 or more skill, weapon, or tool proficiencies, which I did that. Franchise can request skilled hirelings when needed. Skilled hirelings can be fired and hired as needed. The franchise might bring on a couple thugs, act as a distraction during a street fair, then release those NPCs to hire a different set of skilled hirelings to conduct franchise tasks. So it sounds like I need to have a pool of skilled hirelings if you guys choose to do this. Hirelings cannot perform more than 1 task at a time. A full complement of skilled hirelings assisting the party on a mission precludes other skilled hirelings from helping the franchise task and downtime activities until the mission is completed. As with untrained hirelings, detailing a group background and assigning personality characteristics to a group can make for a fun play experience. Sure. All right, so I'm not going to lie. Trying to wrap my head around all this has got my head swimming. So let me just say spitball what's bouncing around in my head. So when we assign a task or an order, the hirelings are going to have a certain lower bonus to be successful at that, and or positive or negative effects. The skilled hireling is going to have a little bit better chance of having good results. And I'll figure out the math behind that and how that works. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hey,
All
Brian, I got a question for you, if you don't mind.
Yep.
So the chance to get attacked is a flat roll of a 10 on a 1d20?
That's correct.
Is there any way to factor in like if we have an armory, a barracks, and a smithy, it makes the keep way less attractive of a target than if we don't have any defenders and there's a blacksmith just outside the keep undefended, right? So is there any way to factor in a way to make the castle less of a target by having lots of guards stationed around the battlements?
Probably. I don't think there's anything in here for that. So what are you suggesting though?
I'm not
Modifications
sure.
to the keep?
I like. Sorry.
I'm not sure because it also depends on the size of the raiding party too, right?
Mm-hmm. And that's what I was going to say. Is I like the idea, but I think if we the bigger we get, we attract bigger enemies too.
I think what you're talking about, Ryan, is built into the armory because, as Gary mentioned, when you get attacked, you roll a d6. If you roll a 1 on that d6, you lose a defender. But when you have an armory, you now roll a d8. And when you roll a 1 on the d8, so there's less of a chance that you're going to lose a defender.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the smithy arms our guys for half the money.
And the barracks gives us a bigger capacity of guys.
Well, the barracks starts out with 12, and if we expand it to vast, we get 25. Right? So if we have 25 defenders, you roll, I think it's 6 d6s or 68s if we're armed. So it's 68s, and we could lose up to 6 characters, 6 defenders.
Right. Okay, yeah, that actually makes
over.
sense.
It's not like
if you roll 6 ones.
Yeah. Well, it's an attack is 6 d6s, so I imagine when we're armed, it's 68s. But it's not wave after wave; it's one wave. That's it.
Yeah, it's basically a narrated attack. There's nothing that's going to be like played out, unless you guys want to do that kind of thing, if and when that happens.
So really, we can only lose 6 defenders and 6 bastion facilities in an attack. So if we have 12 defenders, we can survive 2 full attacks of losing if we roll nothing but 1s. So we don't need to expand, I'm saying, to 25 defenders. I don't think there's a benefit to that. But having the 12, there's a huge benefit to that because if we don't have any defenders and we get attacked, we lose everything.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, the times that we're going to roll for this as we play games is probably going to be like once every 3 or 4, sessions.
Yeah.
Because if we're saying like 1 bastion turn is a week, and that's when you roll for it, then typically a session we run, it could be like 3 or 4 sessions just to go through 3 or 4 days. Right?
Yeah.
So we're pretty safe as long as I'm not rolling.
All right, so let's let me do this. Let's look at the map. Everyone should be. Let me do a shift click in case you moved around. So this is the area we got to work with for the armory, the barracks, and the smithy. If we're still all on the same page for that, and refresh my memory, those who read these, how big of a space was the armory? What was the requirement for that?
Roomy.
Roomy. Okay, so that's 16 squares you need for an armory, and the barracks was also roomy.
16, yeah.
16, and then the smithy, was that also 16?
I didn't read the smithy.
I'm sorry, smithy was roomy.
Roomy, okay, so that's 16.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. Whichever one you said first, I did not look that one up, so I might have been wrong.
Oh, we got 16 for armory, 16 for barracks, 16 for smithy. So the question is, do we have that much space in these rooms that we're looking at right now?
Yes, we do. There's just 4x4 in each of them.
Okay, so we want to divide this up into 2 rooms or 3 rooms, or?
I don't know that we can put the smith up there, can we?
Oh yeah, you got the choice of putting the smithy outside too, if you guys want to do that.
Because the smithy's going to need ventilation, right? I was thinking that little brown rectangle in the top right corner there. What is that?
That's the
terrace section.
storehouse.
This is the shitter.
Yep.
No,
This
it's
is
not.
the
That's the
entrance.
storage. That's the storage room.
Sorry, I saw him click here. This is shitter.
Yeah, this here is the storage room.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
this
never
is-
mind.
This
I
was
would
like
suggest
just
that
firewood.
we just stick the smithy down here.
I agree.
Yeah.
But it's a good point. You can take away part of the terrace and put it out here. This is open. I kind of saw this as being like a, like a 4-foot wall to look out over the garden.
Yeah.
Or you can put it over here. It's your choice.
Smith would just fit up here.
Yeah, put it there.
Up here, so it's on the second level, a little bit harder to get to.
Yeah.
For attackers.
Oh yeah, that is the second level, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
You guys good with that?
No, I would put the smithy on the ground,
Yeah.
right where
Again,
Don's
it's not
singing.
likely we're going to get attacked. Like,
I mean, it's a very well defended area there.
yeah.
Okay.
It's up on the hill too. Don't forget.
Yeah, that's true. Way up there.
Whoa.
Did I spell that right? Hypo Smithy?
Yeah.
Can't say I've
Smith
spelled that too many
with a
times in my
Y.
lifetime. Okay, so Smithy there, 4x4, right?
Yep.
Is that what we said? Okay. Okay, so that's a smithy. And then the armory is 16. Where do you guys want to put it?
I think the armory should be in here because if we ever decide to expand the barracks, might be better to be in there. That's just my thoughts. I mean, we could have 2 separate barracks, so it's really not that big a deal, but just throwing it out there.
I agree. The barracks could go. That's a good spot for the barracks.
Okay.
Where up top?
Yeah, in the big space up top.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that too.
An armory.
Okay, 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4 by 4. All right, so I'm going to draw a makeshift wall here. All right, so basically this is the armory on this side, and you got something over here for a cramped space or something else if and when you decide to get that.
Oh, is that what we were talking about for barracks? I thought we were talking about here for barracks.
Sorry, I'm talking about the armory here.
Oh yeah, okay. Because the barracks can be expanded, right? And when it gets expanded, it becomes a vast space.
Yeah, which is 36 squares.
And we could, in fact, spend 2,000 gold pieces right now and just make it vast and have 25 defenders.
Yep, I'm good with that.
No, there's no level requirement for that.
Yeah, that, or you can add a 4th expansion if you want one. Not trying to talk you out of it.
A 4th expansion?
Well, whatever you got room for, I'll let you. You can put as many expansions in here as you want. You got room for. That's within your level.
Okay.
Because vast is 36 squares, so you need a 6x6. And if we want,
which is only half of that top space, or a little over half.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just ballpark. I'm going to draw a line here again for the barracks.
Did you look up? Did anybody look up Sanctuary? It's kind of right up your Pally's in your Pally's wheelhouse.
I did look at it. It seemed mostly like you get access to a healing spell, and you get a little better long rest healing, I think, for Sanctuary. Let me pull it back up again.
I think we could put that right here.
In the outhouse?
Yeah. Sorry.
The Lord of Pooh?
Yeah, you
Everybody
can.
goes out there to pray.
With Sanctuary, you can make holy symbols and druidic foci, but they only sell for 5 gold pieces each. And then you can cast Healing Word without expending a spell slot if you have spent time in your Sanctuary within the last 7 days. So I guess it's like you would do it before an adventure, then you get an extra healing word.
Just one? Or one per day?
Once. It says if you spend a long rest in your sanctuary, you get to cast healing word once within the next 7 days without a spell slot.
Okay.
The spell's level is half your level rounded down. So you can...
That is actually pretty powerful, I think, but that's expensive.
And then you can make, if you do craft for the sanctuary, you can make basically like holy symbols or druidic focus, and then sell them if you want.
Yeah. And we could also do do that here, on one of these on the terrace as well. Repurpose that for...
It says space is roomy. It says, how many squares is that?
16.
Wow.
Yeah, so we need 16 for the sanctuary.
Well, that's basically the size you see here for the barracks. So you got plenty of room up here for more of those. Now, keep in mind, I'm not trying to sway your decision, but if you ever want any of your NPCs to actually like stay on premises, we just need someplace for them to bedrooms, because that's what I kind of got here for the major domo, the guy running the show.
Mm-hmm.
You could put several people in here, but just keep that in mind if you ever want to make this like a permanent living quarters for somebody.
Yeah, we've also got this space here that we could use.
Yeah, I'm sure someone's going to be able to sleep really well next to the armory.
Well, I mean, at night nobody should be in and out of the armory.
Well, in the end of the barracks there too, there's room for kids.
Well, the barracks are a place for people to sleep, so that makes sense.
All right, so
Shouldn't
there's
just
something
be for the guards.
You guys in any kind of a consensus of what else you want to put in here, or? Well, we also have the garden. You guys said you want a garden too, right?
Brian, this side is the barracks.
Well, this is all the space you need.
Yeah,
right
but
now.
we're spending the $2,000 to expand it immediately.
Oh, you are? Okay. So basically, a little bit more than double the space. So
we need 6 by 6.
It's 36 spaces.
And so that'll be 400 GP for 5 of us.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, about halfway between there, right?
Yeah.
Roughly right about there.
You betcha.
Okay. How are you guys doing the money at this point? Are you guys going to create like a central money spot on this, or are you guys divvying out the 2,000 gold pieces?
Are we going to create a bank?
The bank consists of a little chest in this corner.
Yeah, I think if we can figure out, if we just come up with the total, I mean, as long as we keep it below 1,000, everybody should have enough to pay, right?
Right, but when we do deposits, are we gonna deposit it into everybody's bank account, or like as we make money every week, or are we going to just add it to a chest in the place?
I think it should be in a chest in place to keep expanding and growing this.
Yeah.
Until we have a franchise of bastions, McBastions.
You're a franchise.
And then we can dole it out like in a quarterly, yearly, whatever.
Yeah.
But for the time being, we just stick it all in a chest and continue to build.
Yeah.
All right. So, anything for this room yet? With the sanctuary somewhere?
A sanctuary, or
should that be next to a barracks though? Seems kind of.
I mean, why not? Someone's got to bless them before they go into battle.
That's right.
Well, Varda worships the god of like martial whatever, kind of like a war god. So that could be.
Or we save that space for the gaming hall.
Oh,
right
that'll
beside
be on the upper
barracks.
floor.
Yep.
I like the arcane. I like the arcane study though too. And the arcane study, remember, allows us 15 gold piece profit per week.
Yep.
And it allows anybody to cast identify once within the next 7 days.
Okay. How big does that need to be?
I thought we can.
It's 4x4 as well.
Can't we transform our current lounge into that? I thought that was on the list of things we could do.
Is this 4x4? That's pretty 4x4 ish right there.
Yeah.
That's some good counting because really it's 2.5 by 4.
If you look on level 1 though, I think the lounge study room could be turned into arcane study there. Although I don't see the blocks are not quite laid out the same way. Those big blocks are basically 2 by 2
by
of
10.
the small blocks or something. Is that?
Yeah.
If you look at the ground level map.
Well, the big blocks look like they're 10 by 10.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So
and
gotcha.
the smaller 5x5. So
our current lounge could be converted into an arcane study, I think, right? Do
you want to do that, or do we need to have living space for all the people that are there?
But I mean, a lounge is just a place to hang out. I don't know. Just thinking.
Where were we going to watch Firefly on Friday nights? Is the question.
Did you guys, anyone look at Laboratory? Was that something you guys were considering? Or is that too high a level? No, that's in your level right now, per my list, level 6.
Oh, that's why I didn't look at Laboratory, because I'm not looking at that list.
Craft vials of acid, alchemist fire, ink. You can vial of basic poison.
Come here, baby.
Yeah, laboratory's the way to go. I mean, it's a higher level. It's going to get us some. It's going to get us some a little bit of gold, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
7 days to craft a potion.
One whole potion?
That is correct.
It's pretty awesome.
What kind of potion?
But it says the minimum level to craft a common is 0. So I would rule that this is where the skills probably come into play here. So if you have a hireling that has some kind of skill that lends itself to this, then I'd let a hireling craft that for you. Now, to craft an uncommon potion, which I think is a greater healing potion, you need to be a minimum level of 5. So that's probably going to be like one of you guys during your downtime.
Yeah, but that would be a great place where we can come back and stock up on regular healing potions before heading out.
Could be.
At one a week.
I thought they were 0. Took nothing to do, no?
Oh, it still takes.
It shouldn't take gold to do, but it takes time to make.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, no,
it does cost to make them. Really? I don't like those prices. That's nuts.
How much an actual potion costs to buy?
Yeah, I would cut that in half, if not more. If you're making it yourself.
Aye.
Yeah, let's cut that in half. So for 25 gold pieces, you can make a common healing potion. For 100, you can make a greater. 1,000. Wow, how many levels are there? There's common, regular healing potion, greater, superior, and supreme, right? That's the only ones there are, isn't it?
On the UA one, it's common, uncommon, rare, very rare, and legendary.
Oh, so maybe this lets you make more than just healing potions. You can make any potion. That's why it gives you
have the level 2.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I made the assumption that was just healing potion, but no, you can pretty much make anything. That's why it gives you the rarity. That's why legendary's up there. Or is regular healing potion uncommon or common? I thought it was common, isn't it?
Regular is common.
Okay. All right, I'll stop talking. I don't know if you guys are interested in that one or not. Is there something else you guys are contemplating? Just so you're aware.
The laboratory is a really good way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's two things that are level 6, Rob. Stable laboratory.
Yep.
And then it's workshop, storehouse, smithy, sanctuary on its way down.
And remember, like, we can get a skilled hireling for 48 gold pieces a month. So if something's earning us X, that'll cover that skilled.
Well, it's included in the price anyway, so.
Yeah, you get 2 free ones as part of the franchise fee.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's only a thing above and beyond that you got to pay for.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. I keep forgetting.
But that's where I would definitely put one of the skilled ones.
Yeah. Yuppers. I like the laboratory.
So where do you want to put it?
Where else do we have room?
How much room did that take? I didn't even look at that.
Oh, I didn't either.
It's roomy.
Okay, 16 squares.
4x4. Takes 4x4.
So I'll say you can fit 2 more roomy facilities up here on the upper level if you want.
Yeah, laboratory can go in there because it's going to be enclosed in its own room.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like it's open to the barracks. So put the lab up there.
Mm-hmm.
And what else can we fit up there? What else do you guys want to do? Remember, this is a lot of stuff for us to manage, the more we put while we're figuring this out. So,
well, that's what
we add later.
Guy Piero DiFlorio, she's supposed to be.
I'm talking about us managing it, though, right? Okay. And staying on top of it. None of us have done this before, so.
No, we're going to be learning as we go, but imagine this is going to be something that we do like once every 3 or 4 sessions. Okay, guys, It's been a week. What do you want to do next?
Right. And we could probably set it up so that, if we're going to be on an adventure, we just leave them instructions of, hey, we're going to do this. You're going to do this for the next month.
So I do have a live game where they run their own hub and inn. And the way that I handle it is we try to do as much of that offline in Discord, in a Discord channel as we can. So we make those decisions. So I basically say, all right, it's been a week. What are you guys going to do with your, they're just finishing their renovation stuff now. So they haven't actually opened for business. They're about to. But I say, all right, it's been a week. You guys owe the guilds your 250 gold for the week. So how are you paying that? And then they type it into Discord. And then I don't use very much game time for their pub upkeep.
Okay. And that's the same as what I was intending to do with this as well. The exception of
you created that channel.
Okay. And I also was going to use this as a one-shot potential when we have 3 or maybe even less people that can show up for a game. If you guys still want to do on the small thing, I can throw something real quick that No Mercy Guild or ACK Inc. or maybe the local town of Kront wants you guys to do as to be filler for in between sessions. We don't have enough players.
Yeah.
But to Rob's point, a lot of this stuff that we're talking about, bastion points, everything, we'll probably have to do offline in Discord. Now, to start off, we may still take the first 15 minutes or the last 15 minutes of a session, probably the first 15, to kind of talk about the mechanics of how we do this. We've never done it before until we get comfortable with it. And then we'll do it in Discord after that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I guess, is there anything else you guys want to put in here? Or do you want to leave it open for now, or what do you guys want to do?
I thought we put
what did you guys just say? I'm sorry.
I thought we were putting a religious thing in there on the second floor. Sanctuary. Thank you.
Sanctuary?
I thought that's what was going in there.
My fault then. Okay. Yeah, that's a roomy one as well, right?
Yeah.
And that goes in that space that Don just indicated. And I think that's good for our spaces. Because as Gary pointed out, we don't want to spread ourselves too thin because it's going to become more administration than it is funistration.
I guess the only thing we haven't really marked is a garden, which you can still do out in the courtyard somewhere if you want.
Yeah. We didn't find anything to put in over here.
Not yet, but don't forget, if we fill all these spaces now, what happens when we get to level 9 or level 13 and we don't have any spaces left?
Well, we're going to get more floors.
Yeah, scroll to the right. You're going to get...
Oh, okay.
You're probably going to have more than enough space to probably do at least half of everything that's on that list.
All right.
Yeah. But then we can always, break down a wall and, build the...
That'll be cost of yours.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe put another level on that.
Right, and so if by level 9 we don't have a teleportation room, I'm going to be really upset.
How big was the garden? It was roomy as well.
Yeah.
So we're going to throw a garden in here somewhere out in the courtyard, or?
Yeah, I think right where you just pinged.
Over to the right?
Yeah, we don't want it near the shitter.
Well, no.
That's natural fertilizer. What are you talking about?
It's not the natural fertilizer we want.
You can put it right back in this little corner here.
Unless we're making a poison garden.
Yeah. Wouldn't hurt nothing there. Extra volatility.
I guess technically I need to be over here on this map to specify where the garden is. Where do you guys want to put it?
Where those trees are at on the right-hand side, in my opinion.
Yep, that's a good spot for it.
I'm good with that.
Is there anything else that can go out in the open that you guys want to consider?
Too many tabs.
Greenhouse is too high.
A workshop. What would that
I looked
take?
up the workshop. It wasn't all that exciting.
Okay. Storehouse, Smith, library is not going to be outside. Garden, barracks, armory, laboratory, stable. That's it. So I think we got most of them. All we really need is to start a library.
Yeah, arcane study. You guys talk about that. Did we put one up here? I miss it.
What is it?
I like the arcane study.
Do you want to convert? How big is it? Is it roomy?
They're all roomy.
Do you want to convert part of this into it? Or have we bit off enough to chew tonight?
I think we bit off enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Okay.
We need to figure out what our costs are going to be per month. We already owe $400 per.
Wow, we're getting ahead of ourselves on the money crunching part yet. Because first thing we need to do is figure out your hirelings, and then I've got a couple introductions to make that may or may not lead to a one shot in the future, and help clarify some of that maybe. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm going to do a shift click, so we're all in the same spot over here. So here's the hiring we're considering. So I asked each of you guys to kind of consider some kind of a tie-in. You don't have to share that with anybody yet, but you can use that to kind of try to persuade the others on which ones you want to hire. As a general rule, each one of these hirelings has 2 abilities that are 12. The rest are all 10s, because they are basically commoners with maybe a couple extra ability points somewhere else. That should be open to everybody. So if you click on each, like shift click on one of these tokens, it'll show you which abilities they have are better or worse. That will lend itself, may not be in the directions now, but that will lend itself as to which one of these facilities they may or may not be able to work in, and how well they do on that check. Because technically, some don't even have a check, do they?
Mm-hmm.
They don't.
Brian, just so you know, there's we can't shift click on them because they're not clickable tokens to us.
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
But they're available on the right.
If they're available on the right to look at their background.
Ah, okay, all right. Let me see.
So I have some info on some of them. If that's
All right, so let's just start with just what you know. Those you have read. Does anybody have a certain one they want to hire? Gary, you go first.
Yes. Can I discuss what we discussed minus that 1 point?
Sure, you can.
Okay. So back in the day, Splug, being the charlatan rogue that he was, he used his disguises and some fake documents, pretended to be a Caucasian little person, and came across Silvara Flameheart, the Dragonborn commoner. Silvara's gorgeous Dragonborn. Her family's very influential. They held a position of power with trade and democracy and diplomacy, and raised within the opulent halls of Flameheart Estate. She grew up amidst the complexities of politics. Her family was to marry her off to stop a bitter feud over mining territories. In a desperate bid, they arranged a strategic marriage with the heir of a powerful ally, and despite her reservations, she accepted the arrangements, only to discover the true nature of the spouse and made a run for it. So she was kind of exiled and had to leave. And in her travels, she came across this little Caucasian little person who wooed her and was deceptive. He had fake documents and disguises and wooed her, and they had a brief affair. And when he really fell in love with her, he basically confessed who he was. And she fell in love with him. And when he confessed and took off his disguise, she realized that a Dragonborn and a goblin could never make a go of it, and she broke things off. They split amicably, but Splug still carries a serious torch for his scaly love interest. So she won't recognize him immediately other than his voice, because he's like the bony skeletal mass. But he will be wooing or trying to woo her and be obsessed with her, and so that's why Splug would like Silvara hired.
What does she do?
She is just kind of a general laborer. Like, she's got some diplomacy skills and stuff like that, but she's probably top-notch kitchen help. And
meta-wise, +1 intelligence, +1 to charisma. We have to roll randomly to see her skill.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to do with each one of these, if you choose one.
And Splug is much less likely to use his Sword of Doom to kill her in her sleep. To read himself.
Also, how many are we hiring?
You could have 6.
6.
That's covered under the... Go ahead.
Can we be honest here? Splug couldn't hit an unconscious person with his Sword of Doom in any way, shape, or form. Unless the Sword of Doom hits on an automatic 1, which I know it doesn't. So, or a 0, as the case may be.
So we can order 6 in total. Is that 6 of the basic, or 6 and then including skilled hirelings?
6 of these, and then 2 of the skilled hirelings.
Okay.
All right. Did anyone else have a potential tie-in with Silvara that they want to share?
Not with her.
Okay. All right. So, Rob, how about you go next? Is there a certain one that you want to?
I think Don wanted to. I think Don had something he was wanting to get off. Let Don go.
Okay, Don.
Yep. So when Grelnar's not exploring, Grelnar loves to train and drink. And during his downtime, he visits the local training areas, and especially the local militia. And so while he's been there, he found this kid who, despite his mixed elf and human blood, he's definitely not dwarvish. He has taken note of Elion as a capable fighter. Not only that, but he's part of the militia and the guard. And so it makes sense to have him come on as our as one of our guards and to help out where needed. He's good with the sword, like I said, good with the sword and shield. And it'll, Grelnar likes being the fatherly figure and offer up his dwarvish wisdom.
Okay, so you're making a vote or a call for one of the skilled hirelings to be Ilion.
Yes.
Okay. And meta-wise, you guys, he has a +2 to strength, +1 to dex, +1 to con. He already has 2 existing skills, athletics and perception. And we will also roll for more if you guys choose him to be part of your crew. Same thing for tool proficiency. We'll roll for that as well.
Yep.
Anyone else have a tie-in or anything with Elion? Okay. All right, that's done then. Anyone else want to volunteer to go next? Okay, then Rob, who do you have a preference for?
Well, I've got a couple, little stories. Keep in mind that Bryn's from around here, but Bryn's led a pretty sheltered life. So there's no real sort of long-term backstory business going in here. I personally always have a thing for Tabaxi. But I'm going to make a bit of a play for Eliana, actually, who is a skilled worker. And I'm going to Bryn, when she left the Shadowfell to go on her sort of quest to fight Orcus specifically, she came across the what is the name of it? Oh, she doesn't have that. She came across Ariella Winter. Ariella Winter has also been sort of tasked to fight on a crucial mission, as is written in her bio, to fight the looming threat of the cult of Orcus. And they sort of found themselves as being what's the word I'm looking for? Kindred spirits in that they were both fighting Orcus, the cult of Orcus, and everything that Orcus is around. They separated because they both had they were going in different directions, and Bryn was pleasantly surprised to find her in the keep, doing some work down here, and sort of they rebuilt their short friendship when Bryn got here. Now, from the perspective of what can she do, she's got a +1 to con, a +1 to wisdom, a +1 to charisma. Her skills are insight, medicine, and religion. Yeah, and I don't know what her tool proficiency is.
Yeah, we'll roll for another skill, another proficiency if you guys choose to make her part of your crew.
She's sort of skilled in martial and magical arts. She recognizes diplomacy and subtlety. I think she would be a good skilled worker to be in the place, and probably could be a skilled person in a place like the sanctuary or something along those lines. Okay. Maybe even the laboratory if it's appropriate.
Okay, cool. So I feel obliged to kind of add a little bit more to the interaction between you guys with her as well. So I can you said she's from one of the northern barbarian tribes. Did you share that?
I didn't specifically, but I did say she was from the north.
And she is actually part of the Creole clan of the barbarians. Now, I don't suspect you guys to know the lore as well as I do. Eliana comes across as a very kind-hearted, always wanting to help people out, do the right thing. But her clan and her deity can be frowned upon by others. Creole clan is known slavers, but she justifies it as being, well, it's either they kill them or they make them into slaves. And so she has come to grips with it. That it's okay. As a matter of fact, she used to be a slave and worked her way up and earned her own freedom. That's why her last name is Winter. Anyone that becomes a slave, kind of like Game of Thrones, they're the Canuck Creole, they're given the last name Winter if they are a slave that has risen to earn their own freedom again. So I don't know if that would have changed your befriendship of her.
I don't think so, because like I say, Bryn doesn't really have any thoughts one way or another on that sort of stuff. She's not even right. She's sort of an elven brought up in an only elven village. So
okay. So she was originally a follower of Lathander. Still is kind of, sort of, but through her indoctrination to the clan of Creel, that leaned more towards Arl, which most of you guys should be familiar with.
Mm-hmm. She'd be good in the lab and the sanctuary. I don't know if she could be double duty there, but she seems like a good candidate for those.
You said for me.
And she's not going to hide any of this that I just share with you. She openly shares this, and she knows some people don't agree with it, but I mean, like I said, she doesn't come across as being harsh or evil or mean or anything. That's just how she was raised, and that's how she believes.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else, Rob? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off if I did.
No, that's it.
Okay. Anybody else want to volunteer?
Sure. I got another one. Oh, go ahead.
No,
sorry.
Let everyone else go first.
Yep.
I was gonna maybe say Seraphina, because Helmet is also a half elf and sees maybe a kindred spirit in Seraphina. Also, Seraphina, her description says that she does cast protective spells, which complement Helmet's frontline fighting style quite nicely.
And so, just so you guys are meta-wise, she's kind of like a very cheap version of a cleric. She casts Healing Word, Fairy Fire, Entangle. She can cast Glyph of Warding once per day, and cantrips are Ray of Frost and Thaumaturgy. But she does have a cantrip custom, kind of called a Force Pulse, and she also has I call it a common magic staff that casts range 1d8 elemental damage. Stats are +3 to Dex, +1 to Con, +3 to Intelligence, +1 to Wisdom. So she's quite stout in the ability category. She has 3 defined skills right now: Acrobatics, Arcana, and Perception. We will roll for 1 more if you guys choose her, and then we'll also roll for a tool proficiency for her.
Mm-hmm. She'd be good for Sanctuary and Laboratory as well.
Yeah, she's a good choice.
Yeah.
Okay. So keep in mind, you've got 2 skilled hirelings within the budget, but doesn't mean you can't hire a third one. Just got to pay for it yourself.
Well, I mean, I'd pick her over Eliana anyway. Seraphina's a better choice, I think, for now.
Okay. Anything else, Ryan?
No.
Okay.
That was it.
Okay. Who's that leave? It leaves Kev and Wayne. Either one of you guys have a suggestion?
Yeah, I was looking at what Bramble might have connected with, and Bramble kind of being the doom and gloom sayer, or interested in the horrors of things. I think he might have met Nora. She has a tool proficiency in carpenter's tools, which probably useful for us. He'd be tied into that because hearing of the zombie horde, he probably either showed up because he had visions and was banging his drum and no one believed him, or he showed up after because he wanted to see what happened and investigate that, and probably would have met her as they were rebuilding.
Okay. I'm cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so meta knowledge, she is a +1 to wisdom, +1 to charisma, wisdom and charisma, sorry. We'll roll for another skill. and she already has a defined tool proficiency, which Kev brought up a carpenter's tools. Okay. Anything else, Kev?
No. I mean, there's some other ones that could fit in, but I'll see what Wayne or others sees.
Yeah, I think Wayne's the only one left that hasn't picked somebody. So, Wayne, do you have a suggestion?
Yeah, I would probably take. Well, I mean, since others have already been mentioned, I would probably take Alden or Aldan, who is sort of the someone who can manage and be the brains of the operation. So he's a prosperous businessman who fell on hard times, I guess, and is sort of trying to reinvent himself, rebuild himself by helping out with the keep. I think Varda would have been impressed with him, like if he interviewed for a position or something like that. And he's the kind of person that would be a good manager to keep things moving along across all the different facilities we have in the keep, and make sure that everything's being coordinated and people don't work against each other and that kind of stuff.
Okay. He looked like a guy who would talk to Karen.
Well, for those of you who didn't read his backstory, he's a failed business owner from Ingest. It basically fell on hard times and had to sell everything just to pay off his debts before he headed south to try to make a new life for himself. +1 to intelligence, +1 to charisma. We'll roll for his skills, and we'll roll for his tool proficiency. Okay, so that's 3 hirelings and 3 skilled hirelings. Technically, the paid is 6 hirelings and 2 of these. So, does anyone else have another suggestion for one of the other hirelings?
I also like Shadowpaw as well. Was another one.
Yeah, I would definitely go Shadowpaw as well, and I think every keep needs a cat. First of all,
keep the mice.
Secondly, if we want to talk kindred spirit, I'll pull Eliana from sort of the list and go kindred spirit with Shadowpaw, who is also wandering, who is also sort of figuring out what his sort of part in the world, and he's seen some things, man. He's damaged, man.
Does he like Billy Rub? It's probably good to have him because he's probably good at like counter espionage in case anyone tries to.
Yeah, he's dexterous and stealthy, so.
And he likes belly rubs.
And he likes a good belly rub.
+1 dex, +1 wisdom, as a skill and stealth. We'll roll for tool proficiency. But the 10,000 foot level, if you guys didn't read his backstory, he was basically a former slave in Thay until his masters were slaughtered by a rival family, and he was left for dead. They thought he was dead, then he escaped. So that's pretty much his backstory in a 3 sentence or less. Okay.
My vote would be for Garrick as another one. Just because, just a hard ass, half orc, half human.
Yep. Good muscle.
Muscle. Doesn't have to be smart.
Yeah. Yeah, when you load stones like up on the wall.
He's ugly like Splug, which is also known as Splugly.
Hurtful.
Yeah. I'd like to throw out Grumly.
Hold on, let me just share with Garrick, everybody. So +1 to strength, +1 to con. We'll roll for skills, roll proficiency if you guys keep him. 10,000 foot level backstory. He's a former inmate in the prison of 2 stars that eventually worked himself back free again. Not really a bad guy per se, just was forced into a life of crime due to situations.
That's what they all say.
He's just trying to make a name for himself. And one thing this is one lore thing that I obviously couldn't find a picture of this, but he has 2 tattoos of stars one on each cheek, and that is basically the way that prisoners from 2 stars are marked. They get 1 star when they go in, they get the 2nd star when they go out.
So he's a Russian gangster.
Yeah, but the 2 stars represents basically he's been redeemed, been set free, done his time. If he just had 1 star, then most people would kill him on sight.
Wouldn't he just go and get his other star somewhere?
I know I was waiting for someone to say that, but I'll say they have a magical way of doing it. It's a special tattoo only done with certain tools. So it's not
okay. You gotta run it under warm water for 5 minutes and then remove the paper and it's there.
You have a drop of purple worm poison. just the right amount.
Too much dead, not enough, not visible.
All right, Don, you had someone else you wanted to?
Grumley. So Grumley is known about town, and Grumley has been sure to make his acquaintance, and so trying to show off his smithing skills. He's no hero, can't make magical weapons yet, but he'd be a great guy for the smithing, and then he could probably double as the armorer as well, because it goes hand in hand. And then as time goes on, we can bring him some weapons and give him some good fine dwarvish weapons and armor and whatnot, increase his skills, and maybe we can lift him up and make him that much better at armoring.
Can we get his two sisters, Ugly and Homely, as well?
I think the cat's already coming.
I thought that was your sister, Spugly.
Spugly. Yeah, Spugly. She's bone thin. It's the anorexia.
All right. So meta knowledge +1 strength, +1 wisdom. We'll roll for a skill. He already has tool proficiency with smith tools. Okay. Is there any of the others that anyone want to throw in the mix, or are you guys good with these 6?
I liked whiskey just for the role-playing aspect eventually, but if we're not doing much of that, it's not worth it.
I mean, these 4 are still going to be part of the renovation crew.
Yeah.
They just won't be reporting to you guys. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Basically, if you hire these 6, they're going to backfill 2 more, because remember, the town is going to pay for 6 people.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take long. You guys will have to decide whether you want these other 4 to work on renovation only versus, some kind of task in one of the facilities, or if you want to pay for, they need a total of 10 to stay on track. You need to hire 6 more hirelings to stay on track for the to keep it finished.
Oh, gotcha.
And those are only 2 silver though a week or a day. 2 silver a day. So how is it? 10 silvers a gold?
Yeah, 1 gold a week, basically, to hire a hireling.
Boy, I don't know why we wouldn't do that. I mean, it's a gold a week.
Yeah, I think we take all,
and then we would pay them out of the profits.
Yeah,
that are in the chest.
I think we take all 10 of them at all 3 of the super skills, and just pay the difference ourselves and run our facilities, and that should generate enough income to cover them and then some. So
I think if you're taking Shadowpaw, you're not taking Eliana, because she's a slaver and has no problem with it, and Shadowpaw was a slave. That's the mental health workers' comp claims alone for Shadowpaw are going to be way through the roof.
And do we need
then we put Shadowpaw down? Okay.
No. We take the other female Tabaxi, Sundrifter, as a third skilled.
That's going to require a little bit more work, because she is technically already employed by the temple.
She's only here part-time, right?
Right. That's why I kind of put her off to the side. She's technically there have to be more role play or persuasion or payoff or some other method to get her to join you guys.
Do we need more skilled? I thought we only needed 2 skilled.
You do only need 2 skilled.
Yeah, then let's only take 2 skilled, but let's take 2 skilled and all 10 of the of the hirelings.
Agreed.
We'll pay the 4 gold a week for the 4 extra hirelings, and Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, and the hirelings that Brenda have her hired.
Okay, so you guys are hiring the same 2 that were here, and these 6. I'm gonna move the other 10 kind of off to the right. Those are the towns, although you're paying these guys as wages, so technically they are yours, these other 6.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
So if you care, I will come up with more backstories through Chat GPT. But that is basically...
Is that where they came from, Brian?
Do what?
Is that where they came from?
Chat GPT? Yeah, all of them. Well, I gave it like a few, like, I don't know what they call it.
Prompts.
Starting points. Yeah, prompts is the word. Try to get an idea of where they may be from. Throw in some suggestion. Like I said, Shadow Paul was a slave. That's all I said, basically. Give me a backstory of how he escaped and made it here and why he's working.
I thought Splug's story was very good.
I did too. It was good. I liked it.
Yeah, that was awesome. I think these 6, Brian, really can just be faceless laborers. Like the ones that died in the Death Star explosion.
Well, that's why I was wondering if you want to make a backstory. You can get connected to them and then they die next time they're attacked.
You think the
Red
average
shirts. They all
stormtrooper knows
wear
how to...
red shirts.
Do you think the average stormtrooper knows how to put in a plumbing main?
No, these are all Star Trek red shirts.
So we chose the hirelings.
The barracks guys. I thought the barracks guys were the red shirts.
Okay, I'll roll randomly for all the hidden skill proficiencies for each hireling. All right, so who picked Savara?
I did.
Roll me a D25.
Oh.
Wait a minute, hold on, make sure she didn't already have a skill, did she?
No. It was RD25.
Okay, I'm on another screen. What'd you roll?
17.
Oh, she also has skill in farming. So let me go into her.
She could be the gardener person.
And farming is something that I added homebrew. As I was looking at all these, I guess, tasks that could be done here, I didn't really see anything that would lend itself to gardening. So I said, you know what? I'll create a farming one. That'll be good for like domesticated animals, planting crops, stuff like that.
She's going to train Honeypot for Splug. Domestic animals.
That's a possibility. Yeah. All right. So I've added farming to hers.
Bryn is going to speak with animals and tell Honeypot that Splug can't be trusted.
Okay, then I need everybody that's here rolls a d6 for Savara. If more than half are above 3, then that hireling increases one of the 2 core abilities she has by 2. So there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 66s. If more than half of them are above 3.
More than half of them can't be above 3 because 3 of them are lower than 3.
Okay.
4 of them are lower than 3.
Okay, then her stats stay as is. Let's see here.
Oh, Ryan didn't roll. But didn't matter.
What is her highest ability score?
French kissing.
Licking a goblin. She's +1 int and +1 charisma.
Okay, so I'm going to let you choose this, Gary. She gets to add a skill that is in line with one of those ability improvements. Which skill do you want it to be?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not very good at this because I need to know what the options are.
Just pull up your character sheet, or I'll pull it up for you.
Oh, mine is open. Okay, here we go. Charisma, deception, no. Intimidation.
Ileana was the one we were not taking.
Persuasion. We're not talking about Ileana. We're talking about Silvara.
Yeah, the Dragonborn.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If I said Ileana, that's my fault.
Yeah, charisma or intelligence. Holy shit. Arcana.
Arcana?
Yeah. It's Arcana or religion. Oh, no, nature. Nature. Even better. Fits in with the farming.
Is nature intelligence or wisdom? I always forget that.
Intelligence.
Okay. All right. So she has that skill now, nature. And I'll add that to her character sheet between sessions. I'm not going to do that here.
Cool.
Okay, so Savara is done. Next up, Alden. Who chose Alden?
That was me.
Okay, roll me a D. Oh, does he have a skill already?
No skill and no tool proficiency yet.
Okay, so this is for his tool proficiency. Roll me a D25.
Oh, D25. That's okay. What is it? /R D25?
/R space D25.
Okay.
No spacey, no rolly.
3.
3. Cartographer.
There you go. That goes with the exploration part of our stables. That'll work.
Yeah, nice.
Okay, so let me go in here and add tool proficiency of cartographer. And as I'm reading my notes, I realize each one of these guys get 2 skill proficiencies. So you have to do it a second time randomly for Savara. So pick one that fits in with his intelligence charisma. And then the other one's going to be rolled randomly. A D18.
Okay, so I'll do the random one, I guess. 6.
6, that makes it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. History. That's the random one, and you get to pick one.
Any skill, right?
Well, that's tied to his bonuses. Remember, he has a plus in intelligence and charisma, so something tied to that.
Oh, gotcha. Persuasion, I would say.
Okay. Or you can pick history since it's intelligence, and you have double proficiency.
Nah, I like persuasion better.
Persuasion. Okay, so he has a +4 to that. No, +3. Okay, I updated his character sheet. Has both skills, and that is his tool proficiency. Oh, everyone roll me a D6 for this guy. Hold on, let me put this in there first. Okay, anyone roll? If we get more than half, roll over 3. He gets another +2 to one of those.
4.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Nope.
No,
So
we
no
have
plus from
1,
either.
2, 3, 4 with above 3 or higher, and then only 2 below, right?
Above 3.
Oh, above 3. I'm sorry, I thought it was 3 or higher.
Okay, so he is as is, and he is done. Okay, next up, Nora. Who picked Nora?
Oh, that was me.
Okay, so let me double check. She already has a tool proficiency, I think. Carpenter's tool. Yep.
Skill.
Okay.
Did you say I had to do a D18 for Silvara?
Yes, for another skill.
Okay, so I'll do that.
And the same thing for you, Kev. Do one for Nora to see what skill she gets randomly.
A C.
D18.
A D18. Okay.
That's 3 out of 6.
I think that's what Wayne did a while ago. So that's going to be history. Well, that's one of Savara's gems, so that makes it a +3.
Perfect.
Okay. What was the other skill you chose for her?
History and nature.
No, nature, not both.
Yeah, nature.
Okay, so that's wisdom with the 2. Okay, and what did you roll, Kev?
4.
4. So that makes it what skill? And then you get to pick one skill for one of her either wisdom or charisma based.
Is that just any skill on the character sheet?
Correct. Yes. Well, pick one that's like intelligence or I'm sorry, whatever her pluses are. Wisdom or charisma based.
Okay, cool. Let me just another sheet to make sure.
So you rolled for her to get athletics. So she has a +2 to her athletics. Check.
I'm sure that'll be very useful for her.
And while he's deciding that, everyone roll me a D6. Okay, another one as is. Did you pick one, Kev?
Sorry, I got distracted by roll.
So like persuasion, deception. What's wisdom? Perception.
Insight.
No, insight is intelligence. I think survival is wisdom.
Insight is wisdom.
That is correct.
Okay.
Medicine.
Yeah, I'm gonna say she's probably got. Yeah, let's go with insight, I guess.
Well, animal handling, that's wisdom, isn't it?
That is true.
I'm trying to change your.
town.
So what do you go with, Kev?
Yeah, let's go with animal handling.
Okay. She has a +3 to her animal handling. Okay, and she is done. Okay, next up, Shadowpaw. Who picked Shadowpaw?
Shadowpaw.
Yeah, I think a couple of us liked him.
Yeah, and Shadowpaw's the only one that I originally chose that got chosen. So
you can do it,
well,
Rob.
Everyone roll me a D6 first. Let's get that out of the way to see what if she's gonna Karen, Shadowpaw's a he or she? I forget.
He.
One more gooder. Nope.
Oh, that's good. Oh no,
Shit.
it's not.
Where is it?
It's not.
622. Oh, so close. All right. I sent both of you guys. 2 people pick Shadowpaw. I'm fine with that. Rob, roll me the D18 random for skill for Shadowpaw.
Okay.
Seven. That's going to be insight, which is wisdom based. So there's a +3 to his insight, and he already had a skill defined. So that's the only other one he gets because he had stealth already. Tool proficiency. So I'll let Wayne do that. D25.
All right.
And where did I put my table? There it is. A 3. Roll again. Someone's already got cartographer skills, unless you guys want 2 of them.
No.
Nope. Nope.
6. Harvester.
Oh.
Harvesting tools.
Mm-hmm. That sounds awesome.
Okay, tool proficiency, harvesting. And the other stealth, what did I say it was? I'm writing it down now.
Wait, I think Rob ruled it. What was it, Rob?
Insight.
Insight. Okay. Okay. So Southpaw is done. Do Garak next. Who picked Garak?
I did.
Okay. Everyone, made D6. See if he's going to get bonus to his stats.
We haven't got one of those yet.
You haven't. All right. Skill proficiency. Roll 1 at random. D18. Gary?
Yeah, just typing it in.
8. Six, 7. Intimidation.
Nice. Perfect guy for that.
Okay.
Who was that for?
That's for Garak, a half orc.
Okay.
Now pick one that is either intelligence or strength based.
Oh, strength based. Athletics.
Okay, so he has skills in athletics and intimidation. Tool proficiency, a D25, because he does not have one yet.
Yeah, man. There we go.
22. He is proficient with vehicles.
Hmm.
And I'll make it your choice. You want land or you want water?
Oh, land.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, and he is done. Okay, next up, Grumley. Who chose Grumley?
Grumley, that would be me.
Okay.
D6?
Yep, everyone roll a D6. See if you get 1 out of the 6.
Woohoo! Jeez. Ah,
All right. Well,
okay.
they're all about the same. They're all hirelings. Okay.
Yep.
Let me pull up his character sheet, see if he's already skilled in something.
He is skills.
Yes, Smith tools.
No skills.
Yes, Smith tools. That's it. So roll me a D18 randomly, and then you get to pick one that is either wisdom or strength based.
Ooh.
17. He's good in stealth.
What?
He has a +2 to stealth.
Because that's wisdom?
Stealth is dexterity. So you need to pick one skill that's strength based or wisdom based.
Okay. Let's go with athletics.
Athletics. Okay. He has a +3 to athletics. Okay. And he is done. All right. Almost done. We're going to do the 2 skilled hirelings you did. Let me read my notes here. Each skilled hireling should have 4 skills minimum. So let's look at Seraphina first. I don't know if she has skills already. She has 3 skills. She has acrobatics, arcana, and perception. So who picked Seraphina? Is that you, Rob, or somebody else?
I think it was me.
Me, I think it was Don. It was somebody. I don't remember who it was, but it was somebody talking. It was
Ryan.
It was Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan?
Yeah.
Okay, Ryan, roll me a D18 to see what other random skills she gets.
What about a D6?
Wait 1 second. I want to get this first. 15. Shit, I got to count backwards. 18, 17, 16. Religion, which is intelligence based, right?
I believe so.
Oh, that's one of her jams. So here's a +5 to religion.
Nice.
Okay, and then tool proficiency, roll me a D25. And as long as I didn't close my table, which I did, damn it. You're at 11. That is Potter. She's good with Potter tools. Not sure where that'll come into play, but there you go.
Storeroom.
Store our winter veggies.
Or she's going to be really good at cleaning out the chamber pots, right?
That's right. Shitter's full.
There's tools. I got to look and see if the D6 thing applies to the skilled hirelings. 1 second, please. Read my notes.
Hirelings, there should be a D8 and higher 4 to 8. We just got to roll higher than 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. D100s and higher than 3. Oh.
No, I'm going to do it. It doesn't say it. I'm going to do it anyway. Everyone roll me a D6. Hold on. Let me put a Z in there first. Okay.
Oops. Oh, that's 2.
No pressure.
Oh, we got
Well, that's 3. That's 3 of them. Need one more. Who hasn't rolled yet?
Ryan.
Oh, did Grolnall roll before I put my Z in?
I did.
Ryan's there.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. So she gets +2 to another stat. So read them off: Strength 10, Dex 16, Con 12, Intelligence 16, Wisdom 12, Charisma 10.
Nice.
Which one do you want to increase?
Which
She
one
is.
Which odd number does she have, Story?
She doesn't have odd numbers nowhere. They're all even numbers.
So
16s in Dex and Intelligence.
1 plus isn't going to make a difference.
No, I said +2.
Oh.
+1 to her ability score, what I meant to say. +2 to a score. So she is a spellcaster, basically.
Probably intelligence then?
If she's int based, yeah.
Yeah, intelligence based.
Yeah, there you go. Then that's what I would add.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Her
Nice.
intelligence is now 18. Let me see. Would that affect any of her skills? Arcana. Yep, that goes up by 2 more.
Plus
Or
2
1 more,
religion as
sorry.
well, right? Or plus 1 religion as well.
Yep. So her religion is 6. Arcana is 6.
She's going to be smart like Grelnar.
Okay, that's for Seraphina. Last but not least, Elion. Who picked Elion?
It was me.
Does anyone here not pick somebody that we got on here or not rolled for them?
Yeah.
Not trying to poo-poo on Don's parade, but it seems like he's rolling for everybody.
Well,
I
I'm
got
trying to.
None of my guys got picked except for the cat guy.
You
but,
roll
we,
it then.
we split the rolls on that one, so it's all good.
Yeah,
You
let's,
do it.
let's get this out of the way. Let's do the 6s first. Well, you got 1 out of the 8. Okay, next up, he has 2 skills, so we need to roll for 2 more. Roll 1 and then pick 1. So roll a d18 first for the random one. And then you need to pick something that is either strength, dex, or con based. Strength ES plus 2, dex plus 1, con plus 1. Any of those.
Okay, so I rolled a 7.
7, I gotta pull it up. 7 is insight. Intelligence based, the one thing he doesn't have. Okay, and pick 1 of your choosing. Guess it doesn't have to be any of those that he's good at, but I just assumed you would.
Swiftblade, what do we want him to do? We don't have anybody super keen on perception, but but that's wisdom, so he doesn't have that.
He's a guard.
So maybe I could give him expertise in athletics.
I like that. Could also do acrobatics, but whatever.
Yeah, but if you have either athletics or acrobatics, they're usually interchangeable, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So why split the score? Let's give him expertise in athletics.
Okay.
Okay, his proficiency
Good
bonus is
thinking.
2, so that brings it up to a plus 6 for his athletics. Okay, and I think that's the last of the modifications we got to do. Oh, tools. Let me do a tool. Did I do a tool for Seraphina?
I thought so. But
D25 for Elion to see what tool proficiency he gets.
10.
10. Navigator tools.
He can sit in the passenger seat of the vehicle guy.
Yeah. Look at the cartographer's map.
You said we did do one for Seraphina?
I thought so, but
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, she got Potter's tools.
She already had a tool, maybe.
No, we rolled for Potter's tools for her. Yeah, we were talking about the chamber pot. She can handle that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got your 6 hirelings, 2 skilled, and you're going to pay for these other ones. Later on, we can choose to hire more scarred healing, but they will be based upon a soldier, CR 1/2, a warcaster, CR 1/2, or spellcasting acolyte as a starting point. That's what these basically were. They can be possibly trained and or add a skill or ability pyramid at a later time. Now the decision for the franchise, if or what you want to do. So let me do it this way. Let me do a little introduction of how I was going to kind of present this to you. I should know before we do that, you decide, do you want Lady Isabella to continue as your major domo, or do you want to use one of your PCs or somebody completely random?
let's
Major
leave
domo.
Isabella there for now.
Go ahead. What?
My suggestion is we leave her there for now, and it's not hurting anything.
Are we no mercying or not?
No mercy.
We haven't made it to that yet, have we?
I'm going to present something to you. You have a choice.
Well, and this is, I asked the question because if we are no mercying, then I would like to stick Neo in charge of as Major Domo instead of this other woman who's trying to build her own empire with our keep.
Okay.
Just so we're clear, she did not name it. That's just what all the workers started calling it.
She named it. Don't give me that.
Now, she didn't object to it, but she wasn't the one that was sowing rumors and, innuendos.
Same thing.
But she did sow the banner. So.
All right. So
she's the Betsy Ross of that whole situation.
Yeah.
So let me kind of narrate what happens when the group all gets together for the first time after coming back from Underspire Labyrinth. You guys are met with Lady Isabella, who has a very strong German accent. That will only come into play if and when we run a session where that becomes pertinent. Right now, just know that she has a very strong German accent. She tells you that you guys have received letters from 2 different organizations since you've been away. One is from Acquisitions Incorporated. One is from the No Mercy Guild.
Oh, it's one or the other.
Okay. So she's first going to share the letter from Acquisitions Incorporated first. And she said this one really confused her, but maybe it'll make more sense to you guys. So let me start reading. I'll put this in chat after I read, but it's pretty lengthy right now. It says, thank you for applying to Acquisitions Incorporated. News of your exploits have spread quickly, so your application has been expedited and approved. Your timing is impeccable, as we have an exciting mission for you nearby. Per local authorities, an earthquake struck the city of Telfam 2 days ago. Damage was limited, but a sinkhole opened up a fissure beneath an abandoned warehouse in the dock ward. 2 City Watch guards entered the fissure to investigate, but never came out. They're now feared dead, and the City Watch has asked for an Acquisitions Incorporated team to take over the investigation. However, my schedule is complicated at the moment, so I'm delegating that job to you, our newest members in the area. As an experienced adventuring group, I have no doubt that you can handle the task. Go to the warehouse next to Jolly's Lamp Emporium down by the docks. Tell the City Watch guard stationed there that I sent you. Explore the fissure, learn the fate of the guards who went missing, and then come back to me with the signed City Watch papers confirming your completed work. Terms are, as always, non-negotiable. Half up front, half when the job is completed to a satisfactory level. Contact my associate via the sending pebble found within a small red coin purse after you've completed the job. He will handle the rest. Signed, Omnibus Hayward Omen Drawn, CEO, Acquisitions Incorporated. And before you have any chance to respond, Lady Isabella drops several hefty bags of coins onto the table. And she says, oh, I get to speak my German maybe. There's my estimate, 1,500 pieces here. I had no idea you guys even worked for him, but here you go anyway. So there's your dilemma and or option 1. Then she also shares a letter she got from the Mercy Guild. And the letter reads, if I could say this in his accent, I would, but you just need to understand it first. Greetings. I hope this letter receives you well. We have heard of your latest exploits in the region and the subsequent reclamation of Sir Keegan's keep. To say we are impressed is an understatement. My name is Erbo Gerfenun, and I represent an amazing opportunity for you. On behalf of the renowned No Mercy Guild, I offer you membership into our family of experienced brothers and sisters. We offer better than fair pay, along with benefits associated with such work as ours. Fortune, fame, and camaraderie await you. And as a token of our good faith, please accept our gift to you. And as you're reading this out loud, Lady Isabella brings out a small chest, about 3x4 gold trim chest, and lays on the table. If you'd like to hear more about this exciting opportunity that we have waiting for you, then please drop a note in the box. We will respond with promptness and provide all the juicy details. May all your journeys be fruitful. Erbo Gerfun, Major Domo and No Mercy Guild of Fent. And then quotes below it says, no job is too small, for we employ the small folk too. So Lady Isabella places a 3x4 gold trim chest on the table. Written upon the lid in gold embossed letters are the words fortune, fame, and camaraderie. And she tells you that she actually opened it before you guys got here, and there must have been like a magic mouth spell that was cast upon the chest that activated when she opened it, and she apologizes profusely Says the chest was empty, but the magic mouse said, and she quotes, she looks at a piece of paper, "Speak the magic phrase, 'I am legendary cow,' when the lid is closed and you're ready to send. Fame, fortune, and camaraderie to you." End quote.
Okay, so how many jobs from the other group that's paying us half up front can we accept and keep the money from before they stop offering us jobs?
Are you asking the group or are you asking me as a DM?
I'm asking you, because if they're offering us half up front, we just keep taking jobs and never do it. You just say, "Oh, no, we failed. Sorry."
How do you think that will end, Gary?
Yeah, I think they kill us all off. But
if
my initial thought there was, she opened that chest without asking us. She needs to go.
So Splug takes out the Sword of Doom. No, just kidding.
You can't do anything with the Sword of Doom.
She's safe.
Okay.
Honestly, I favor the No Mercy Guild so we can bring in some of our old characters, but that's just me.
I mean, there's nothing to say you can't bring in your old characters Acquisitions Incorporated, and that can just add to the potential drama and or plot hooks or whatever else mischief that may bring about.
Yeah, can you not leave one of the guilds after the fact?
They could. They're not slaves. It's not the Hell's Angels.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the fact that Acquisitions Incorp just sent them, half the money. Said, "Let's go."
I like the Acquisitions Incorporated stuff from a meta perspective because there's a lot of cool guidelines around it.
Mm-hmm.
And so the things that you guys might not know if you haven't read the book, and Brian and I talked about this a long time back in the No Mercy days, like last year. But there are positions within Acquisitions Incorporated that, like, somebody could be the chief cartographer, and somebody could be the lore monger, and somebody could be the hoard person, which is basically the treasurer, and somebody could be the decision maker and the secretary. So there are a bunch of positions, and each one of those, as you get higher up, comes with a common or uncommon or rare, depending on what level you are, magic item that lets you do that job better.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's some cool D&D core stuff in the Acquisitions Incorporated stuff that we've never played with that we have the opportunity to now play with.
Yeah.
Okay. Good enough for me.
I liked it because of the money, but yeah, that makes it even better.
Okay. Anybody opposed? Guess that means no. All right. So to add to that, I'll say you guys, choose that. Again, Isabella was confused. She didn't know you guys because the letter says they have received your application. It's been expedited and approved. However, nobody has applied at Acquisitions Incorporated.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
Well, that's good business. That's the way Acquisitions Incorporated works, I think. They're like, "Oh, wait a minute. Hey, we've already been." This is like you getting a letter for a pre-approved $10,000 Renault loan. That's exactly what this is.
Or a credit card. Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
That's fair.
Suspicious about that.
Yep.
All right. And also, just to go back and recap here, I'll put it in chat. It's a lot of text, but I'll put it in chat so you guys have it. And I'll put it in the Discord thing as well as kind of a makeshift recap. But you also got a sending pebble. And for those who don't remember, been a while since we've used one of those. A sending pebble is like a sending stone, except it's a one-time use thing. So it's paired to the other one. You can speak a message into the pebble. It sends it to the matching pebble. They have a chance to respond within X seconds or whatever. And then once the communication is done, they both crumble to dust. Can't be used again. So they gave you that sending pebble to let them know when you're done with the job. And this is my way of tying in little one-shots if and when it makes sense, and also trying to incorporate some of this Acquisitions Incorporated stuff into it. Now, in hindsight, I was going to add those positions that Rob was talking about, whether you chose No Mercy Guild or Acquisitions Incorporated. But anyway, you're going to have that option as well. Okay. Oh, and another thing so how are we on time? Wow, holy shit. Another 20 minutes. Okay, so I was going to throw in another wrench that as you guys are contemplating how in the hell are you going to get to Telflem, where the hell's the dock ward, what's going on, you got lots of questions. You can't use that sending pebble because it'll basically be destroyed once you use it. There is a say Aelion interrupts, comes into the meeting room and whispers into Lazy Isabella, and she informs you guys that you guys have a visitor. Says he's from Acquisitions Incorporated. And you guys will see and greet as he is escorted into the meeting room. Not sure if he is well renowned.
Straight. Aelion went in and reported to
Isabella.
What's her face? Yeah, she's definitely got to go because the owners are sitting here, but she comes in and reports to her.
But she's been running the show for a while, so
yes, she's been running the show for like a month since you guys have been away.
You're way too suspicious, my friend.
And if you say I apologize, sir. Sorry, force of habit. No, I'll get right next time. Just please forgive me. He steps out. And you guys see a tall figure, dark hair, purple robes, wearing some odd-looking glasses. Shit, where did I put my notes? Crap, we did the wrong page. Hold on, please. This is in the book, but it's funny, so I got to make sure I don't screw it up. Oh shit, I already screwed it up. He doesn't get escorted in. A puff of smoke erupts out of nowhere. As the haze disperses, a handsome figure steps forward. It's Jim Dark Magic of the New Hampshire Dark Magics, except he's wearing a set of glasses that he apparently thinks is an effective disguise as he bows before you. I'm no one you know, he says,
he's a clone.
But I couldn't help but notice that you seem a little flustered. I believe Owen just offered you work, but I also have a feeling you might not be the adventurers he thinks you are. And he kind of looks around to make sure no one is listening, then leans forward to deliver a conspiratorial whisper. A conspiratorial whisper? That's a hard word to say. You want my advice? Just do the job. If you can pull this off, Owen's going to be so impressed that you have a leg up on everybody else trying to gain footing with the company. You've heard that phrase, opportunity knocks? Well, our opportunity is heading right at your door with a battering ram. Stand in that doorway, friends. Let the opportunity smash its way in. And then he will share more details about the actual job at hand. But we'll cover that if and when we do a one-shot for you guys. Okay, so there's your first brush with the famous, if you want.
The famous?
Right. And you're going to start us at rank 1, Brian?
You're
going to start us at rank 1?
Rank 1 as far as what? That's the keep?
License for a franchise. Rank.
No, you'll be at rank 2. I'm still doing that. Just like in the...
Yep.
I think I put that in the table. Look, again, go by that table that I put in the game. That's like the... what I call it? Shit. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get in here and find it. I called it Proposed Special Facilities Table. So I guess rank is technically out of the nomenclature. You're basically level 6 keep.
Okay.
If there's something else that doesn't correspond with that as far as Ack Inc. book is concerned, let me know, Rob, and we'll kind of work through that.
The company positions all use ranks for sort of what that company position can entail.
Oh, company position. Sorry, I thought you meant like rank of the franchise.
Well, yeah, it uses the rank of the franchise to, like, if you're a rank 2 franchise, then your cartographer can do this.
Oh, okay. I don't want to rule that on the fly. Let me go back and read that. It's going to be 1 or 2, but let me read that before I put that in stone. Okay. All right. So last thing we need to do before I cut you guys loose is those job positions. I guess technically Jim will go into a tirade describing the advantages of being a member and these new roles that each of you should partake of in regards to your franchise position. Where did I put that?
Sludge wants the money because he's honest.
All right, so you have company positions. I'll read them off to you first. Cartographer, decisionist, documancer, hordes person, loremonger, obviator, oculant, secretarian. Now, imagine those don't mean shit to you right now. So, but if you go into the Acquisitions Incorporated handout or technically the book, I haven't modified these as of yet. Just read through those different ones. If you know of one right now that you're familiar with, you can pick one. Otherwise, between now and when we play this again, everyone can choose one of these. So, like Rob was saying, let me just pick on one. I'll pick decisionist, just so I can read it to you. Let's go past all the blob. Essential functions receive 1 extra vote on franchise matters. Great. Position proficiency. In addition to the proficiencies noted below, you can add your proficiency bonus to any ability check to influence a decision made by a group, assess the popularity of a certain customs or individuals, or boost the morale of franchise hirelings. Okay. At rank 1, like Rob was talking, rank 1 and rank 2. Rank 1, your proficiencies and starting equipment. Tiebreaker. At rank 2, you get absentee ballot, coin of decisionry. Rank 3, better odds, inspired decision. Rank 4, charming misdemeanor and clandestine kit. So we'll just go through a couple of those. Proficiencies and starting equipment. At rank 1, decisionist, you gain proficiency with a musical instrument. It says horn. Head office also grants you a musical instrument, your choice of a horn. A voting kit, ballots, a ballot box, and a I voted sticker set. And a coin of decisionry. This large coin is emblazoned with a sigil of Acquisitions Incorporated as heads and has a tails image that varies. It has a D8 here for the coin of decisionry tails. The tail could be anything from Owen Drawn, yourself, a pumpkin, 14-headed hydra, an old tyrant, a demon lord, a foaming tankard of beer, or a masked lord of Waterdeep. Start rank 1. Whenever the members of your franchise take a vote, you can present your coin of decisionry and cast 2 votes. Not sure we've ever had that problem before, but there you go. At rank 2, if a member of your franchise party is absent, that happens a lot in our games, you gain their vote and can decide quite confidently how they would have voted. In addition, if a vote is ever taken while you are absent, you can call for a recount and add your 2 votes to the final voting result.
That's got slug written all over it, I think.
Yeah, it's got like dick move written all over it, yeah.
That's what I said.
Also starting at rank 2, your coin of decisionry becomes a common magic item. When you flip the coin, it always lands with the Acquisition Incorporated sigil face down, and a message appears on the tail's face. Roll a d4 on the following table to determine the message. 1 is lucrative. What? 2 is brand appeal. 3 is undeterminate. 4 is ruinous. The coin has absolutely no divination abilities, and its results when you use it are random, but nobody else knows that. Okay, so
wow. Okay.
When a creature within 10 feet of you flips the coin after having had its powerful prognostication power dutifully explained, you can exert your will to control its operation as a bonus action, choosing a result that appears after it lands as a means of gently coercing the user toward a specific course of action. The creature flipping the coin can detect your manipulation with a successful DC 13 insight check. And just more stuff when you get rank 3 or rank 4. So that's just one example.
I love it.
There's a lot of stuff in there. This is probably something we'll have a conversation in Discord as you guys start leaning more towards one or have discussions about it. But each one of you guys can choose one of these. Right now, I'll say rank 1. I have to read through more of it to see whether or not rank 2 makes sense. Because hopefully we're going to be playing this game for a while. I don't want to give away the farm right off the bat if rank 2 is too powerful.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me go through my notes one last time. I think that was the last thing I had to cover for everybody. Anyone else have questions or something else they want to bring up?
Not specifically about tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I do have something that we need to figure with the other guys here.
Okay. I have one more final thing that is also a benefit. I don't want to give you whether you got No Mercy Guild or Actors Incorporated. It says, regardless of who the players choose, AC Inc. or No Mercy Guild, the party is introduced to a new way of selling and or buying loot and or harvesting monster parts. Choose either the Major Domo NPC or Lady Isabella. You guys are sticking with her as the Major Domo, is that right?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
She shares with you a magical connection that she has that may be beneficial for your newfound endeavors in Acquisitions Incorporated. She tells you she has a contact that remains anonymous for obvious reasons. She kind of whispers behind a hand, but can buy or sell loot or gold, or buy or sell loot for gold or favors. He goes by the code name the Arcane Peddler. Arcane Peddler uses a magical barrel to buy or sell loot of all kinds. He can even procure crafted items and special materials that are provided. He is not cheap, but he can always be available. So basically, this is a magic barrel that she has somewhere in the keep where if you're wanting to sell something, you put it in the barrel and you wait 1 hour, it disappears. And usually within 1d4 hours, there's a return in that barrel for what the value of that is. Or if you'd like to buy something, you can like leave a note in there of what you're looking for. And then it's up. You never know when you're going to get an answer back. But you can check every day to see if you ever get a response that he could possibly find that. Same thing for harvesting. If we don't have anybody that has the harvesting tools skill proficiency, and you guys find a bunch of dragon scales, whatever else it is, you can put those in there, and then you can either try to sell them to him just like that, or you can ask him if he can make something out of it. So it's basically a way for you guys to quickly sell stuff and or procure stuff.
That's nice, but what if we don't like the price?
Well, you can negotiate that. You can pass notes back and forth through the barrel before you actually sell anything.
Okay.
But he will need to see it before he'll offer you a price. You have nothing to worry about. Isabella says she's used this method, or her family's used this method for years, and they've never been cheated. Again, the prices are not as favorable as if you went out and tried to find a buyer or seller, but this is usually a lot quicker.
She might have just saved her job.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I thought I was on the wrong side of the bed for you. Aha. All right. So what's the thing you wanted to share, Rob?
Oh, I just want to talk about the loot that we got at the end of the last episode.
Oh, okay.
We haven't talked about that at all. We a little bit. Don had something in. And I basically, if you open up the loot bag handout, you'll see what we got on November 24th.
For handouts, loot bag.
So Bryn would like to, at the very least, lay claim to the ritual book, which is number 6 in the second entry, that has the ritual for Enchant Amulet, Arcane Lock, and Liamon's Secret Chest. We talked about that already. That's why Bryn's name is beside it, because we talked about it a little bit last week. But Bryn would also, of the 6 things that are on the top list, the thing that makes most sense for her is the Wand of Magic Detection. But it's up to you guys. So everybody was really tired at the end of last session, so we didn't talk about who needed what. A couple of those items are attunement required, and I think that some people, because most of us are already attuned to 3 items, we're a little bit leery of taking another item, another attunement item.
Agreed.
So I think, Gralnar, you had said in chat that the Horn of Blasting is something that you would be willing to put your hands on.
That's something a dwarf would use.
Right.
Yep.
And what about Splug, and what about Wayne's character and Ryan's character? I mean, we purposely rolled more items than we actually had party members for.
Yeah, I think I rolled 1 extra, as I recall.
And Ryan, you haven't played in very many sessions, so I know you're not attuned to 3 things. And Wayne, it's probably safe to say that you're not attuned to 3 things as well.
And Kev hasn't even played in this chapter yet.
And Kev, I know you're not attuned to more than 3 things. Well, no, that's not true, because you played in round 1, in Act 1, so you might have some stuff from there.
And just so you're aware, Kev, since you've been out for the last chapter, I can't remember what level you guys ended at in chapter 1, but I was going to have you roll randomly for some magic items as well to kind of make up the fact that you've been out for a whole chapter.
I'm actually attuned to 3 things already, so I don't think.
Oh, you are. I wasn't 100% sure.
I like, for Splug, I like the Medal of Valor.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking for you too, Gary.
Immune to frightened conditions, and I don't have to attune to it, and it doesn't run out. I just wear it and I've got it. So that's the only one there that I see that I would need or want.
The other cool thing is the lightning rod, which is in the second grouping. Nobody claimed that either.
Well, that would be cool for Splug too, because I don't have much for ranged.
Can you use it?
Yeah, I don't have to be
a rod.
It requires attunement, though, Gary.
Yeah, I can't attune to anything else. So I'm good with the Medal of Valor, and then I'm copious with that. So if you guys are okay with him having that, that would be awesome.
And Ryan, I don't want to speak for him, but guys, does that make sense for Kev's character?
What, the Medal of Valor?
No, the lightning rod.
Yeah, I think it totally does, Kev.
Let me check the lightning rod.
Yeah, just check on your attunements. If that's what you want, then take it.
Brian, could you give me access to my character sheet? I don't think I can. I have it.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because you just joined.
And none of the transferred over stuff. Okay, so while you're doing that, Ryan, is there anything on that list? The Ioun Stone of Granite is pretty damn cool. Especially for a front liner like your Pally is, and Wayne. But I know, Wayne, you're already attuned to 3 things. It basically makes you into a barbarian. That thing.
I was looking at the magic curtains of protection, actually.
Well, I think that was given to us specifically as an item for our keep.
Oh, okay.
Is that what were you referring to for the keep?
The magic curtains of protection.
Yeah, that's got to be tied to like an actual. If you read the description, I think it's got to be tied to an actual structure somewhere.
Yeah.
All right.
The Amulet of Whirlwinds is cool, but it's only got 25 charges and doesn't, or however many charges, and doesn't renew. So once it's used, it's used.
What is your name in here?
Attunement?
Is it
And
Bramble?
it requires
Is it Kev?
attunement, yes.
Bramble.
So, okay.
It's at the top of the Monster Hunter assets. Oh, never mind. You moved it up, I think.
Okay, there you go. You should have access to Bramble's character sheet now.
Wayne, you're a pally as well, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Is there anything on that list that sort of, if somebody else hadn't put their hand up for it, that you'd be like, hey, that's pretty on my radar?
Maybe the Amulet of Whirlwinds. I don't know, but that requires attunement.
It's an attunement item.
Yeah.
But it is pretty cool. Do you have anything that you're attuned to right now that you could just put in your bag for a little while and reattune to it later? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, probably. Let me check what I'm attuned to real quick.
Only because the Amulet of Whirlwinds is rare. So if you've got an uncommon item that doesn't define your character, that's attunement, you could put it in your bag and reattune it to it after the Whirlwinds is used up all of its charges.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I could. I think I have something I could put away and take that instead.
Okay, so why don't you so you take that.
Okay.
Kev, what kind of character do you have? I don't remember.
Bramble's a bard, if I recall correctly.
And is he a frontline bard or is he a?
I believe, because the character sheet's kind of being fucked right now.
He was kind of like a Pigpen character, right? Like Filthy or something, or
yeah, he was kind of like. I think he was a creation bard. He wasn't a frontline bard.
Right, like my bard was in the other game.
Yeah, I mean, I think the rod works.
Oh yeah, you're taking the rod, right?
And I only have one attuned item at the moment, just the Lantern of Tracking. So,
but there's also the Rune Staff of Frost as well.
Yeah, that was the other thing I was going to make a recommendation on. I don't know if he's a staff. I don't know if he's a staff kind of bard, but that's a very rare item that is pretty awesome. That Bryn would be all over if she didn't love her animate objects staff.
That Horn of Blasting's cool too.
Is that the one that has like a certain number of uses, or every time you use it, you got to roll and it may explode?
No, you have a 20% chance of it blowing up and giving you 10 d6 fire damage. But as Slug is all bone, he's immune to fire.
Yeah, but that's a total. Growlnar's right. That's a total dwarf item, right?
Oh yeah, I'm just joking about that, but that's awesome.
And
so, Ryan, you're going to take the Ioun Stone, is that right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I got the old Medal of Valor.
And honestly, Kev, if you want to take the lightning rod to use and you want to take that rune staff, go ahead, because the rune staff, really, I'm the only other character that would wield it, and I'm happy with the staff I've got.
Yeah, I don't think this staff is quite Bramble's speed.
It isn't?
So
okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I think just the lightning rod.
We'll find somebody whose is.
We'll
which staff? Stick it in the bank.
The Frost?
I say, now that you got a keep, you can actually have a stash here at the keep as well if you want.
Yeah. Do we want to give Senor anything?
Senor's staying. Senor's staying in the Seven Pillared Hall.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We should be taking his stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot.
Right. So I've assigned all of those items. If you close and reopen the loot bag, I've assigned everything. And then the rune staff we'll keep in the keep.
Everybody good? Yeah, I closed it and reopened. I don't think to show it to everybody or not. And all the stuff below, the magic curtains. You want to pick a room? that going to be in the major domos room? It really only affects people that are sleeping, really.
Or put it in the barracks.
Yeah, that's true as well.
Yeah. I think barracks is the best place for it.
I'm back.
Oh, didn't we lost you? I'm sorry.
No, I had to take a call.
We're talking about the curtains, and should we put the curtains in the barracks or should we put them in the major domo's room?
Oh.
It gives sleeping characters a +2 armor class if they get snuck up on.
Well, the thing is nothing with the way the barracks and the building gets attacked affect an armor class. So it would be something that if we had them with us and we were going to stay in a cabin in the woods, we'd throw the curtains up and give us all a +2.
That's not the way I'm ruling it, though. It's got to be attached to a certain. I design it for the keep, and you are right. There's nothing in the mechanics that does that, but it doesn't mean I won't add something later on down the line.
How often do we come across a cabin?
I'm just spitballing it. Like, I'm just throwing it out there. Like, it just doesn't. The way the attacks on the keep are, the curtains don't do us anything unless Brian makes something up. That's all I'm saying.
How big is it? How big is the effect? Is it just one room?
If you pull up magic curtains of protection, it should tell you in there.
I think if we do it for in the barracks where all the defenders sleep, then all of our defenders have +2 armor.
But there's no armor class for them if they get attacked.
No, but Brian said that if we get attacked, he would take that into account.
Yeah.
And give us some sort of bonus.
Okay, then barracks then.
Okay. I'm scrolling down. I also see other stuff from earlier sessions that aren't marked to anybody. 3-section boots.
That's true.
I think we were going to sell those.
Well, yeah, but only because of the people that we had currently in the party. Nobody wanted them, but I don't know if there's anybody here that wants those. They are an attunement item.
Water walk. I mean, we could just save them, and if someone
those boots of striding and springing as well, nobody took. So we don't have to decide that now. You're right, Gary. We could just have a look and see what doesn't have anybody's name beside it in the loot bag, and let us know if it's something that you want, and then we'll adjust the loot bag.
Plug me one day want the bowl of soups.
All right, guys. Well, that's all I had prepared for tonight, and I think we've reached the 3-hour mark. So, anyone else have any other questions, comments, complaints about what we just did and what's about to happen?
Oh, that's a good session.
That was really
exciting session.
I didn't think this was going to take 3 hours, but holy shit, it did.
The admin stuff always takes longer than you think it's going to.
Yeah. So just so everyone's aware, so Into the Abyss is kind of like on, I wouldn't say the back burner, but it's going to probably be not until sometime next year before we pick up the next chapter of Into the Abyss. For the next few weeks is going to be Scales of War. That next chapter is coming up. So we got that at least for the month of December. And then sometime in January or February, we'll pick up on the next chapter of Into the Abyss.
I cannot wait to play the character that I've got set up for that.
And like I said, what we did in the keep, we'll turn into a one-shot if we get to any of those days where we got 3 or less characters. I'll dive into this little one-shot thing for the Acquisitions Incorporated task. Okay, you can add 1,500 to your loot bag. That was half of what was in that coin.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. Let me. I think what I'll do is on the loot bag, I'm going to keep our running total of group gold at the top of the loot bag always. Does that make sense?
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's already a quartz eyeball and onyx in there as well.
Yeah.
So I like that idea, and we can start using that money as the
the money
Renos.
for the keep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll summarize what the costs are and stuff, and I'll put it in Discord. I don't want to get too hung up on that. As long as you guys aren't going broke and
Well,
not
the
doing anything.
guild's paying for the renos now, right?
Yeah, but you guys hired additional commoners or additional hirelings.
There's more than enough gold in there because you're right, Don. With the quartz eyeball and the onyx that's in there, if we do 400 and 800 for those two items, we have another 1,200 in that group gold, which means that we've got a total of 2,700 in our group account, in our guild account right now.
Yeah.
Right, and just so we're clear, Gary, you guys are still paying like a franchise fee every month.
Oh yeah.
But that franchise fee is covering, 6 hirelings and 2 skilled hirelings.
Yeah.
Anything above and beyond that is on your coin.
Now, is that in addition to what the town was paying or putting forward?
Oh, that's correct. Yeah, I'll have to do some math. I think the town said they're going to pay for 4 hirelings and a longer pace. That's why you guys had to hire 6 more so they stay on pace.
Yeah. So I think we're all covered if we're going with UA.
No, you still got to pay for these 6 hirelings that you hired.
Oh,
These 6 we see on the table here, because that's above and beyond the 4 that the city's paying for.
But what is Acquisition Incorporated paying for?
But we have to pay dues to UA.
Correct. That's going to happen every month regardless.
Okay, but what are they paying for?
They are the part of this, whatever you pay in the fee, I forget, like $350 a month or gold per month. That pays the wages of the major domo. That pays the wages of 6 hirelings and pays the wages of 2 of the skilled hirelings.
Okay, and then the town is paying for 4 more.
Yeah, because you need a total of 10 hirelings to keep the pace going for the renovations.
And when the renovation's done, we agreed to pay for those. We agreed to continue to pay for those 4 hirelings.
Okay, but don't we just have 10 and 2 right now?
Yeah, but 4 of those don't belong to us yet.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the 4. I think I moved them somewhere else, didn't I? Yeah, I moved them over here. Yeah, these 4 over here are being paid by the city.
Okay.
But you need a total of 10 to keep the renovations going. That's why you hire these 6 generic ones here.
Got it.
You with me?
Yep.
Okay. Yay, math. All right, guys. Hopefully that wasn't a complete snooze fest for some of you.
No, that was awesome.
Okay.
Thanks, Ryan.
That was very cool, bro.
But you guys got a new hideout, so I'll try to add some more artwork and stuff and definition to the map between now and next time.
Can we get a hot tub up in this corner?
We'll see when you level up again. I'll determine a cost on that.
Perfect.
I'm not sure Splug would enjoy that.
I think there's a thermal spring in this corner, so.
Yeah, Splug has no nerve endings right now.
That's true. Yeah, but he wants all his bones to be clean and white.
Just get some wet mud, kind of pack in all the holes.
Yeah, that's right. The slug. Did you, Brian? You didn't share that Splug? Where is he? That other Splug.
Oh no! Don't share that.
Okay.
Because that may or may not come up in a future session.
Oh, okay, that was cool.
Because that is from the Acquisitions Incorporated book.
Nice.
So that is someone you may actually meet.
Kindred spirits.
Yep, that's right.
Right on. Awesome, man. I got to crash.
Okay. Thanks, man. Good night.
Later, guys.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
Anybody else got anything? All right. Good night, guys.
All right.
Brian. Thanks.
Talk to you later. Thank you.